Ah,
Welcome to the podcast where a group of like-minded nerds play a randomly generated RPG. The Natural One Podcast, where the plot is made up and the hit dice don't matter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Natural One Cafe. For those of you who tuned in to episode 2, you know that Barry has a tasty, tasty haiku waiting for you. So join me in welcoming Barry and his haiku.
Over in the east, the ocean glows so warmly. The sun-kissed waves shine.
yay. That was pretty.
Okay, here we go. So, in the background, there has been a lot of work that was done to develop a little bit of world. So I would like to offer an excerpt of a book entitled The History of the Alliance by Leandre del Galonadel. She's an elven historian, and I feel like this passage probably reflects all the work that went in, for the most part, to kind of underline where the world is at now. Most places of historical significance are simply pieces of land. They do not choose to be great, or could even understand what is happening around them when the greatness occurred. This feeling could not be more understated when standing amongst the high grass of Briar Glen. During the wars, the Briar was often overlooked, an unassuming collection of hills and trees. But on that sunny day, so many years ago, almost entirely by accident, or perhaps strategic blunder, 3 generals happened upon one another. Bodyguards instinctively drew their blades in the presence of their enemies. It was in the bright light that stopped them. From the heavens, 4 avatars of the gods stepped forward and proclaimed that this endless slaughter was to end. Moradin, Bahamut, Pelor, and Sehanin joined together to prevent the destruction of their favored children. Now, bowed by the presence of their divine will, the dwarves, elves, and men agreed that maybe they should stop killing one another. And in the same flash, they were gone. Only a slight breeze remained amongst the now silent rulers of the 3 kingdoms. From then on, the alliance prospered. The dwarves, now able to focus on creation, conquered new feats of arcane crafting. The elves, free to pursue magic and culture, reached for the heavens while wrapping it in song. The humans, with their endless creativity, combined both and traveled to the sea. And then the New World was discovered. 8 islands, 6 of which are centered in an impassable ring of reefs, were the new focus of the alliance. Now, almost as if the idea of war was ancient history, communal work was set to colonize the New World. Shortly after, a magical flowering plant known as Arcania was discovered. So unique was this plant that it required its own genus to even be studied properly. That discovery overloaded arcane research. We made leaps and bounds into the future with the help of that little purple plant. It seemed as no real shock either that the lands rich with Arcania formed the Confederacy in order to protect their interests. Much like the Briar Glen, Shade Root seems to be a pleasant enough island in the middle of many other islands, which will have great historical significance. While the island may not notice, the rest of the world certainly has. And that was an excerpt of The History of the Alliance by Leandre de Galonadel.
Damn. Yeah, that was very well described. Yeah. Wow.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
So to sum up all that, basically there's an old world, there's a new world. The old world is a continent. The new world is a whole bunch of islands that are inside this shielding reef. Each of the 4 players have randomly generated portions of it. So Sirius generated the majority of the new world with his sailor background. Barry focused on the town he was from, and I'm very certain we will go there at some point. And then Nate and Xanaruk spent a fair amount of time developing the many kind of areas inside the old world. And then each one of them generated 1 or more factions, and we've kind of stitched it all in together. So I, instead of being the DM necessarily, will begin to consider myself more of an orchestrator of chaos, because that is purely what this campaign has been born out of, but it is very exciting. So things will become less randomized as we progress this story. There will be narrative elements that have been purposely placed, but there will also be things that need to be randomized. So, speaking of narratives, let's talk about where the boys are now. So they're still in the basement of the desecrated temple, surrounded by, I believe they were in the dining room in the third hall, in the third level. So with the shadow demon dispersed, the four of them now can take stock of the dining hall in its entirety. We did level everybody up to third level because that fight was real close, and that felt like a milestone to me. So I would like to just kind of pop around the room real quick. Let's just check in with everybody. In particular, I'm looking for the amount of health you have and what the third level archetype was that you guys went with. Let's begin with trusty dice. Tell me who to start with. Xanaruk. What's up, baby? What'd you do?
Ooh. So I chose Path of the Totem Warrior, and I chose Bear Totem.
Because you a boss-ass bitch. Okay.
So I resist everything now, and I'm at 40 max HP.
And then what's your current hit points?
Jesus.
16.
16. Okay. But effectively 80. Good to know. Alright. Nope. Can't do that. Can't do that either. God damn it. Roll something different. There we go. Spencer. Tell me what's going down with Nate these days.
So when Nate leveled up, he got finally to 23 hit points. So
20.
our fighter got to 23, and my current hit points are actually 22 because I don't have last fight. I didn't really have that many, so I second winded and got myself up to 12, and then I rolled max hit points this time around. And I've joined as a battle master now, and I've taken my three various attacks, which we will see in combat soon, I'm assuming.
Barry and Simon. So what did Barry decide to break into?
So Barry decided to break into the College of Lore.
Nice.
So being kind of a worldly dude, he's looking to travel about and gather information and really set himself up for success. So I figured the College of Lore made the most sense for Barry. So now that he's level 3, his total hit point pool is a whopping 18. And I'm currently sitting at 9 hit points. So, yeah. Bit of a frail one over here.
Okay. And then can I get... well, I mean, I'm not going to roll it. So Mitchell and Sirius, how's that divine quest of yours going?
Okay, so I, as planned from always, I went Vengeance. So I'm a Vengeance Paladin, Oath of Vengeance Paladin now, which very excited for. And I'm currently at 16 out of 30 hit points, so I'm feeling okay.
All right.
Got a bunch of hit points.
Last fight didn't take too much out of you.
No, the demon mostly targeted Xanaruk.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
sure did. I was there for that, and it was a lot of fun.
Same.
Okay, so
Up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
you have finally an opportunity to take into the dining hall. So the collapsed body of whatever the thing was lies in a corner, and then there are the two dead bodies, one without a head and the other without hands. And you came in and pretty much saw the rest of the spooky dungeon. There's a door that proceeds to the north and then a door that proceeds to the south with a fireplace that currently is inactive, hanging out on the eastern wall.
Out of curiosity, am I still huge?
Yeah, you would be, and I think the effects last for about an hour.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
So we're not leaving this room. Well, I'm not leaving this room for an hour.
And you have to be very careful what you do with your 20-foot-long glaive.
Yeah, I'm just going to put that down.
Well, if we're hanging out for an hour, you might as well take a short rest.
Does anybody, as Sirius asked, does anybody want to look around, poke through some things?
I mean, sure.
Absolutely.
I'll look
would
around.
love to, but I'm going to sit so I don't break things and have this entire cavern come down on us.
I kind of like gesture to a chair jokingly.
I'll
But he would just
go
break
sit
that
there
chair.
and shatter the chair.
Oh no.
All right. Well, whoever wants to take a short rest can take a short rest, and then whoever wants to roll for an investigation can roll for an investigation.
Oh, good sweet merciful, I need hit dice, but I'm gonna get out that violin and play a nice little song of rest to
And we
help
get
people.
an extra d6, right?
Yeah, an extra d6 if you're spending hit dice.
Perfect.
I'll take the short rest.
Yep.
Spending 2 of my 3 hit dice. Oh, and the d6. Oh, good, I'm topped up again.
Woohoo!
Probably could have spent just 1. Shit. Oh well. Such is life.
So I got 2 doing the short rest thing. So Sirius, what do you want to do?
Oh, I definitely short rested. I
Okay.
sat down.
The
Yeah.
team-
Yeah,
the team
I'm
short
also
rest.
I'm also short resting because I can't do shit.
Okay, well, you take a seat and ponder your life choices, and then Nate, you return to regular size.
Yay!
It is an hour later, and you still stand in spooky, scary room, which means I need all of you to roll wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
Oh, crikey, alright. 16.
12.
19.
Starting the night off with a natural 20, which so that's 23.
Nice.
I don't even need to look up stuff anymore. You're fine. All of you are having a great day.
Yay.
I'm not. I'm itching to use these goddamn rules, and you won't fucking let me.
So you mentioned that this crazy pirate possessed dude had a rapier and dagger.
He does.
I want to take a gander at that, see if they're better than the ones I have.
They are a rapier and dagger.
Roger. Too easy.
You said that there's a door to the north and a door to the south?
Yes, and there are 2 dead bodies that no one has looked at yet.
I'll check the headless one.
I'll check the other body.
The handless one.
Can I
Yeah,
get,
the handless one.
Can I get both of you, Xanaruk and Nate, to roll investigation or medicine, depending on what your flavor is?
0 either way. 19.
Jesus.
Nice. That's a 20 total.
Okay. So Nate, you take a look at the handless one, and you're able to deduce rather quickly that it's a fairly old body, female, dragonborn. It is so old that the scales have kind of rotted away in a sense, so it's just kind of like really, really dehydrated body mesh kind of stuff. It hasn't had access to a lot of light or anything to help it do anything in terms of decomposition. It is sitting inside of an armor set. Why don't you roll a d6 and tell me what the number is?
That is a 2.
Okay, so it has a chain shirt that seemingly has held most of the chest together. So that is still attempting to rot away. It's almost been like supernaturally suspended in this rather grisly display of undeath.
Lovely.
Tasty.
And, Xanaruk, you take a look at the headless person, and the headless person seems like it was a blunt instrument, probably a axe or a knife, that took a couple of swings at trying to take the head off entirely. It didn't necessarily work the first couple of times, so there's like a botched hack a little bit lower, and then
Bad technique.
Yeah, bad technique. Maybe some improper implements.
Poor rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a pretty good, I wouldn't say well-preserved body, but it is a human body nonetheless. And you can't really determine who or what it is, but it's a human male who is missing a head and has hands.
Nice. I poke it a little.
It immediately falls apart and smells
Ooh.
terrible.
Ugh.
Can I, while everybody's kind of doing this, can I just get like just a general look around the room to see what's in it, just to see if there's anything interesting?
Go for it.
Just perception.
You could perceive with glance, or you could spend like a minute or two and look around everything.
I'd much rather perceive with glances.
Okay, well, do your perception then.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think he might have dropped.
I think he dropped.
No, I'm here. What? I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
Hello?
you cut out right as we were gonna say the number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was 18, guys.
Oh.
18.
Oh,
18 was the number we were looking for. 18. Yeah, no, that works. You take a quick look around the room, and it's 3 bodies. There's probably like 5 gold pieces worth of like fine cups and knives and forks and things on the table. That's about it.
Okay, and you said there was a door that we haven't gone in yet?
There are 2 doors, one to the north and one to the south.
I kind of gesture towards Zan, and I'm like, north or south, buddy?
I always choose, but north it is.
Okay, I'm going to try and use thaumaturgy to push the door open if it's
Okay.
unlocked.
It is not unlocked. It is locked.
Interesting.
Who wants to do what to get it open?
let's send our rogue to go lockpicks.
The de facto rogue. Yeah, I'm gonna go check that door, see if it's trapped.
Okay, give me an investigation.
While he's doing
15.
that, can I take the chain shirt?
Sure. You have a chain shirt.
Cool.
And it's
I have the chain shirt.
Gross.
I mean, yeah, but just gonna slide that into my bag.
There's like the slight jingling of chain as you try and fold it carefully into your bag, and the whole group is just looking at you like a guy in a movie theater trying to open a bag of chips.
And I'm being super oblivious about all of that, and I'm just trying so hard.
Okay. Barry, you managed to detect that there is no traps.
Okay. See if I can try and pick this lock.
Are you proficient in these tools?
I am.
Oh, well, do that then.
Hooray, urchin background. Woo!
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's only a 10.
It's not a really particularly challenging lock. You managed to pop it open. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
Need me to break the door, or
I'm going to turn the knob and slowly push the door open.
Ooh. It creaks open with a very, and it's a little spooky, and that creaking echoes down a fairly dank cavern. It opens up into about a 10-foot wide kind of cavern that seems to lead down, and can you give me a perception check?
Yep. Perception. 25.
You can definitely hear the sounds of the sea further down the cave.
Huh.
So Barry will turn around and relay that back to the group that the ocean can be heard.
ooh.
That's interesting.
So we're gonna keep going that way, or check the other door first.
Let's check the other way first and then backtrack.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So you approach the southern door, which, does anyone try and open it? How are we doing this? How are we tackling this particular puzzle?
I have really great investigation, so I will search for traps.
Sure, go ahead.
4.
Nope. Actually, the more you're looking at it, you're like, it may be, it may not be. It seems like it isn't, but you think that that's what you want the person wants you to think.
Like I look at it, I'm just kind of staring at it, and I look over to Barry. I'm like, I think there's a wire that leads to a trap, but I'm not 100%. So can I use your lockpicks and just try to disarm this trap that I see?
If you think you can do it,
Sure, I'll try it.
are you sure you don't want me to take a look at it?
If you want to, go for it.
Perhaps that'd be the better course of action.
You don't even need to roll. He's looking at a spider web. Like, there's just this little reflecting piece of light that seems to be getting caught on this fairly old spider web, and you're like, ooh.
So Barry will hand the torch he's holding off to Nathaniel and say, just let him know, I need light shining over my shoulder to do this, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Aziz, light! Aziz!
Aziz, light! Thank you, Aziz. So Barry's going to crouch down. He's going to slowly bring the tools up to the keyhole, pause for a second, bring them away, cock his head to the side to try and get a different angle, bring it back up, wipe his brow as though he's sweating profusely with this trap, and as he goes to put the tools back into the keyhole, spin around and just shout as loud as he can into Nate's face. Try and scare the shit out of him.
Nice.
Nate, you can either contest it or you can just be spooked.
Oh, I'm gonna be spooked.
Okay.
That would, like, I would not be expecting that.
So, alright. Congratulations, you have spooked Nate. The spook meter's going up.
Ah!
So Barry's gonna have a good chuckle about that. Stand up, put his tools away, and try the knob, see if it'll actually open.
Oh yeah, it's for sure open.
Okay.
Nice.
So he'll push that door open as well.
Okay, so you push it open, and you thought the rest of this place was bad. This is not good. So,
Oh, Barry's taking another face dive.
Oh God.
so, Sirius, this is the place where the evil emanated, and this is a temple to Thorisden.
Ugh.
So, adorned on the walls are what you feel like is painting, is probably actually just collections of layers upon layers of blood, sacrificial or purposefully harvest. It's almost like a mockery of an actual temple. So there are pews. There's about 4 pews on each side, a little aisle down the center, and it gets into a dais, and there's a podium. And hanging from the center of, I guess this wall, is a counterclockwise, jagged spiral that has 2 chains that are linked together that seem to be holding on to some sort of effigy body type deal. I need all of you to make charisma saving throws.
Oh.
I'm super good at these.
I'm super bad at these.
Yep. No, I'm terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
No!
Oh God.
0.
Oh shit!
We all get killed by the barbarian.
Yeah.
I rolled.
19. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Vincent.
19.
Oh, Mitchell. Sorry.
19.
I had a 6.
Oh shit.
Barry, what did you got?
So I rolled a 10, got a 17.
Fuck, goddamn bards. So, Nate and Xanaruk, you are frightened. You do not want to go in there. You have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you are within line of sight of this room, and you are not allowed to go into the room.
Close the door, close the door, close the
I
door.
immediately put my hand on Xanaruk's shoulder and I say, "Relax."
No, close the door.
I'm
Close the door.
I'm walking away from the door. I'm just moving away from the door at this point.
Yeah, same.
So, Barry and Sirius, you are the only ones who would be able to enter this room, which you may, if you desire, or you may just slowly close the door on this and nope out of there.
Okay, well,
I kind of want to take a peek at what's in there.
okay, well, I have a somewhat of an idea also too. So I have holy water. I don't know what it's gonna do, but I could try and pour it onto something and see what happens, guys.
You do you.
How much
I'm just in
holy
the
water
corner
do you have?
muttering, "Close the door, close the door, close the door."
I took out one of the random wine bottles I got last time and I'm drinking it.
As soon as I see him pull out that, I go over and I just have my hand out,
I give him another bottle.
and I start downing wine.
I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna hold up my my symbol of Melora, and I'm going to produce the holy water, and I'm going to try and I don't know, do my best to bless or just sanctify the room as best I can.
Barry, can you give me an Arcana check? And
Yes.
Sirius, why don't you? How much holy water do you have?
Ooh.
I have a flask of holy water.
Okay. Barry, what'd you get?
I got an 18 for my Arcana check.
Okay. Barry, you haven't seen this style stuff before. I mean, you're not a cleric. You haven't spent a whole lot of time, but you do know magic when you see it. And this place is touched by some sort of divine magic or arcane magic that is very far beyond anything you've been able to cast or are able to cast, and a tiny little flask of holy water ain't gonna do shit.
It's a good thought, Sirius, but I don't think that's gonna fix this.
Well, that's all I got.
So Sirius, you're holding your holy symbol aloft of Melora, and typically when you do so, it shines with a light that kind of gives you a little bit of encouragement. It does not shine with light in here.
Is this room flammable?
Nope. I mean, it's blood, so it's kind of slick.
Okay. Barry, I say we close the fucking door.
Close the door, close the door, close the door.
Yep, literally just that
Let's
over a
take a
bottle
look
of wine
at
and
it.
holding my holy symbol.
Let's take a look around it, Faust, to see if there's anything in here. Tell us.
Okay.
Okay.
Barry,
You look around. I'll keep my head on a swivel.
Xanarok, give me a Constitution saving throw. Barry, give me a investigation perception check. Over to you for your deciding. And Sirius,
Perception for this one.
That's a 20, but not naturally.
Okay, so you hammer home the first bottle of wine, and you are not drunk.
I rolled a 13 for my perception.
You kind of try and look at everything through the corner of your eye. You're not desperately trying to take in a lot of details, because whatever details you do take in are just going to hang out in your brain for a long time. This was a place of ritualized sacrifice. I think we're all able to put that together.
Yeah.
And the closer you get to the dais, the sooner it becomes incredibly relevant that this effigy that is hung from the set of chains is not an effigy, and that is a flayed person whose body has almost been opened up in a macabre sort of statement of not necessarily caring how or when the insides come out, just that they should. The order didn't really matter. So there's portions of flesh that still are there, and then there's portions of the insides that are outsides. You can see like a portion of a femur, while at the same time you can also see the muscle that's wrapped around it, and then the skin on top of that. There is no rhyme or reason as to how the body was desecrated, but that is definitely the source of the effect.
I'm gonna grab Barry and be like, "That's enough. Let's go." And I'm gonna kind of pull him, kind of.
I get the feeling if we take this body down, it might help dissipate the evil that's here.
Okay. Fine.
DM, just so you know, I was also drinking, and I rolled a natural 1 on my con save.
Hey, you're drunk.
Nice.
Yeah, so you
Barry.
just have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Good.
For now, which is going to be a lot of fun. So enjoy.
So excited.
You doing okay there, bud? You look a little red.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Barry,
Yes.
are you sure about this?
No, but I get the feeling.
What feeling?
It's hard to explain.
Okay, well, you touch it first, and if anything happens, I'll drag you out.
What else?
I should hope you do.
Telling Barry.
So taking a gander at it, is there an easy way to unchain this poor wretch?
It depends. Do you wish to investigate the effigy?
Investigate is a strong term.
It means touching.
You gotta get up on the mat.
Is it possible to use peripheral vision to really take a look?
You could roll perception or investigation. I will give you disadvantage.
If I go through peripheral.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go investigate and see if I can get this poor fucker down.
Okay.
Balls. Okay. All right. That's not so bad. Roll a 17.
With disadvantage?
Oh, I'm looking straight. I wasn't looking through peripheral.
You looked just straight at it. Awesome.
Yeah, I was going in.
All right. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That could have been better. 7.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
You do, however, determine that yes, this thing can be taken down, but you're going to have to separate its spinal column because the chain is wrapped around its spine and then like attached to the other end of the hanging, jagged, counterclockwise spiral.
Oh.
Hang on, I gotta find the thing that I'm using. But in the meantime, you can roll a percentile dice.
Uh-oh. That doesn't bode well.
So excited.
32.
Oh.
32, eh?
Yes.
Okay. You now are frightened, and you have to leave. You're done. You no longer wish to be in this room. It is game over.
Join the club.
Nope. Give me the wine. Give me the wine. Give me the
He
wine.
still has half a bottle. He's already.
I hand him the other half of the bottle, and I look slightly green at this point.
I put my symbol away and I take out my my warhammer and I'm gonna smash it down.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and smash whatever you'll let me get away with smashing in this room.
Okay. So how long do you wish to spend smashing?
I'm gonna focus on getting the effigy down, and if there's some sort of like altar, I'm gonna smash that too.
Okay. Sure. I'm not even gonna make you roll to attack because
It's not moving.
I think we've gotten to the point where we're like, yes, okay. You smash the dais, you smash the symbol, you smash the effigy, and now they're all just kind of in a clump around you, and you seem to be panting fairly heavily. But you have exerted yourself.
I attempt to leave the room.
Okay. You leave the room. Ain't no thing.
I close the door.
The door is closed.
Finally.
Do I feel that it's kind of helped dissipate the foreboding sense of evil?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But you no longer want anything to do with that room. In fact...
Oh, I'm staying the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good because I hit you twice with this particular gimmick, so it'll be a good time. Let's carry on to the north then, shall we? Unless you wish to go somewhere else.
I'm fine with the north. But yeah.
North is great. It's the furthest we can get from the room.
Exactly. Oh, we're all thinking alike now.
Yes.
Okay, so I need a marching order, and then whoever is in front to make a perception check.
Me first, or
Do you want me to go first? I have fairly good perception.
my perception's okay, but not good.
Somebody hold on to the drunk guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go
I'll go
first.
second.
Yeah, and then Barry, can you guide Nate for us?
Aye.
Okay. I'll make the perception check.
Fine.
That's really good. That's a non-natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you actually hear the welcome sounds of a sea swell. Kind of.
Can I smell it?
Fade. Oh yeah, you can for sure smell the tide is coming in by the smell of it.
I take it in and I let it wash away the feelings of that room. I just kind of like let it wash away that horribleness that was the altar to Thrasden, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeedly do. Yes, you are refreshed. I wish I had a mechanic for that. So you proceed to head down into the cave, and you probably spend about 20 minutes just kind of like following the sounds of the ocean, and then it breaks into what can only be described as a smuggler's cove.
Oh.
Wait. Smuggler or snuggler?
Smuggler.
Snuggler.
Are we
Okay.
that far into the campaign now that it's a Snuggler's Cove?
I
don't
mean,
know
I
you
could
guys that
rewrite
well.
the few things that I have actually written about this, but I would much prefer you pay attention. So there are a series of crates and a small rowboat that seems to be lashed kind of haphazardly to the end of this kind of cave mouth. So the cave mouth reaches down into the ocean. There's one or two stalagmites that someone has lashed a rowboat to, and there's about 4 crates that have been offloaded from the rowboat into the main area that are just been kind of hanging out there. With superstellar perception checks and just the way everybody's eyes are working lately, you all can look out and see a ship at anchor, and I'm going to use the word caravel. Does anyone know what that actually is?
Is it one sail or two?
It is 2 sails. So it's a 40-foot rigged, square rigged caravel. So
Nice.
the sails swivel a little bit. It is rather small. It's not necessarily a fairly large ship, but it is designed in its heyday to harness the wind and cut the sea fairly well.
Yeah, they're fast, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering from what's the game called? Civilizations. They're the ones that you send out that have all the scouts.
Oh, yeah.
They're the fast ones.
Yeah.
So a caravel, basically the forward mast, is a... What did I write down for this? I think that's square rigged. Yeah. And then the aftermast, which sits pretty close to the wheelhouse, which is where the helmsman would stand, is kind of a triangle. So it's a little bit of a mishmash, but at the end of the day, it's a small ship that is anchored just off the coast.
How many jibs?
Well, there would be only one jib because the jib is a forward mast, which is we've already talked about.
You can have a flying jib as well.
That's true, but only one jib.
I don't know what any of that is.
Same.
Probably does.
Is there? Can we see anybody on the ship?
Give me a perception check. At disadvantage, drunkie.
My passive perception 16, but this is going to be worse.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That came to a total of 12.
You're having a hard time determining if there is one ship or two.
That looks like 2 ships, guys. I think we should get the hell out of here.
Wait, no.
See, have you got a sailor? Don't you have a spyglass?
I mean, I don't, but I should.
I feel like that's something you should get.
Yeah, I think that's a really legitimate thing that I haven't thought of. But I will
look for
say,
one on the ship.
I will say, boys, how much do you want to bet that ship belongs to those pirates and they're not using it anymore?
Well, we don't know that for sure. So Barry's going to squint off into the distance, see if he can see anyone on that friggin' boat.
Okay.
Can I just wander off and start shuffling through the 12 crates that I see? Because I'm assuming everything is doubled at this point.
Yeah, go ahead. You can. So, one, give me a perception check to grab a hold of the right crate.
Okay, with disadvantage,
Of
that
course.
is 11.
No, you fully managed to grab a hold of one of the crates that actually exists.
Good. And I'm just going to try to shove it open.
Okay, you can do this at advantage with your drunk strength.
Just a straight strength roll?
11.
11.
With advantage, yeah.
Yeah, 11.
11. You try and dig your nails into the lid, and the nails that hold the lid shut, you're having a hard time with.
I'm
This
just
is
I'm
happening.
gonna keep shoving it and ripping at it, just trying.
Okay, you have fun with it. Barry, can I get your perception check, please?
I rolled an 18.
Oh yeah, you for sure know that there are no other people on that boat.
Okay.
It's just been out there drifting, just kind of on its anchor for an unknown period of time.
Well, she looks empty, at least for now.
Do you guys have any idea how much that's worth?
Nope.
More
No
money
less,
than any
no
of
less
us
than
have
5
ever
gold.
had. Oh, more money than I guarantee any of us have ever had before.
Great.
Anybody have a crowbar?
Zan, can you help him, please?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Don't
I'll
you
walk
carry
over
a
and try to
fucking
shove
blade?
it open too.
Okay. Give me a strength check. See what you got.
Okay. 19.
Oh yeah, for sure. You pop the top of it off like a cold brew. Can you give me a percentile dice, please?
Hook a duck. 77.
Hey,
Ooh.
that's
Lucky.
pretty nice. Let's go to the big table. A 77, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You find 9 assorted 10 gold piece gems, so about 90 gold pieces worth of gems.
Ooh.
Damn.
And then I'm gonna determine this, and then I'm gonna tell you what to do with it. Ooh, this is gonna get saucy. Give me that. Give me the other table. Give me the other table. Okay. Xanaruk, I need a percentile dice and then a percentile dice.
2, okay.
Oh, no way.
Damn.
29 and 83.
Oh.
Okay, all right. Stand by to copy some bullshit. All right.
Okay.
So.
Is this the one that I'm staring like that I was trying to open?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just caught up in the gems. I'm just like really enthralled by the gems.
Alright, I haven't used some of these before, so I gotta look and see what this is about here. Do. So the first one is a potion,
Okay.
and I will tell you So it's a potion vial with an eyeball that sits inside of a yellowish liquid, but vanishes. Oh nope, not gonna say what that is. It's just an eyeball that bobs in a yellowish liquid.
Liquid. Okay.
And then the second thing that you find is a tiny object that looks like a feather. Ooh, girl, can I get you to roll another percentile dice, please?
Okay. That's an 88.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a feather with like basically a tree brooch that is attached to it.
Is this the tiny feather object?
Yes.
It's a feather on a brooch, you said?
Yeah, and the brooch is shaped like a tree.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you find there, Zan?
A lot of gems and some weird things.
Okay.
There's this potion that has a gross eyeball in it. And this
Okay.
little bitty feather. Look, it's so cute.
So Barry will take a stroll over and peer at these things and see if there's anything Machical about them.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Nope, that's a 7.
I mean, they could be. They could also be poison death spikes.
Good. Yes.
I look over at Sirius. Will you give me 2 gold if I drink the potion?
This time, no. Not scary eyeball potion. We're gonna keep that one, and we're gonna have Zan put that in his pocket, and we're gonna figure that one out before we drink it.
Fine.
Yeah. I kind of gesture as Zan's kind of going through things, and I'm kind of, do you want to open the rest, or?
I mean,
Hey, there's no reason not to.
yeah.
Pop them, buddy. Pop them open.
All right.
This is our stuff with our ship now.
Basically.
You're just gonna pop a bunch of stuff open. I'm not gonna make you roll for opening of the chests. So can I get? There are three boxes left. Can I get each of the 3 people who haven't rolled anything yet to each roll a 6-sided die and then tell me what the result is?
Sure.
Yay.
6.
Ooh, your box is laden with spools upon spools of silks.
Oh my
Ooh.
God, yes.
I can make the fanciest kilt.
I have a 3.
This is gonna be good. You open it and you're looking at a collection of plants, and you don't know necessarily what these things are, and your double vision isn't helping. And then Sirius kind of looks over and goes, "Holy fucking shit! That is a crate full of the plant Arcania."
Oh
shit.
my God. Oh my God. Okay.
What?
Right away I tell him,
I
be
would
careful.
also recognize that if I wasn't drunk.
That's right.
And I rolled a 4.
You find inside of your crate a couple of casks of presumably whiskey-sized casks of presumably whiskey.
That's my box called it.
As soon as I before you can use anything, as soon as I find one, I go, Zan, I got something for you, buddy. And
How
I
many
bring him
casks?
over.
Roll a d4. Serious roll a d4.
That's a 4, buddy.
You get 4
Yay.
casks of.
One for each of us.
Presumably
Perfect.
fairly high
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry,
Okay.
4 casks of what? Whiskey?
Yeah, well, it's a dwarven spirit that hasn't been identified yet.
Cool.
Tiny
Okay.
cask of wicked booze.
Okay. So as I'm kind of standing there, I'm kind of like running. I untie my hair and retie my hair, and because it like kind of fallen in combat, I kind of put my hand on it and I go, okay. I guess we lucked out on this one.
Mhm.
And I guess it belongs to each of us as much as the other one. So I guess we're stuck together then, eh?
I mean,
What belongs to us?
That ship, boys.
Oh,
ship.
oh yeah.
And the gold upon gold that these crates are worth when we sell them.
Just a bunch of plants and silk.
Zan, buddy, silk
Yeah.
and these plants are the backbone of the economy. We're going to be
Okay,
rich, my
and-
friends.
Yay. That doesn't
Yeah.
solve any problems.
that's a lot. Like, we have a lot of arc.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever,
okay,
the ship's
so
cool at least.
yeah, it is. Now, the question for the GM, would I know that we're not going to fit all these crates in the dinghy with all of us? It would have to be multiple trips, I'm assuming?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well then, how do you want to do this, boys? Because we got to get this stuff into that boat.
Is it basically like one crate, 2 people, they go out, they come back kind of idea?
Well, you need people on the ship to pull things on board when you get the boat out there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. So, I started to look up what I just gave you guys, and that's a lot of money.
Trust me, I had an inkling of what this was worth. I don't know for sure, but like I was like,
Ooh.
Aren't ships like 40,000 gold?
Not that particular ship, but that silk though. Holy shit.
yeah. That's why I was laughing.
Woo, boys.
That's fine.
Okay, now
I'm digging it.
I put my hand out. And I kind of gesture to the other guys. I say, look, the only way this works is if we agree that we're going to stick together, because this is a lot of money, and if we double cross each other, that just means all of us aren't getting paid.
Look, I don't
You
really
guys haven't
care
done
about
anything to me
money.
yet. I'm down.
Yeah, well, I was gonna get. Yeah, I don't really care about money, but you guys seem kind of strong, and I like hanging around strong people, so I'm down to just stay like that.
Well, if the big lug doesn't want money, I'll take his share of it.
I laugh,
Money
and I kind
is
of
still
put my
messy.
hand up for Barry, and I say, I think after the events that we had, I think he deserves at least his fair share, whether he
Right.
likes it or not.
All right, that's fair.
There's
When
Okay.
still things that
when it
come
comes to
the
this
money,
group-
it's not necessary.
Sorry, one square yard of silk is equal to one
don't
cow.
you bap.
But we don't know that.
Don't know.
Sorry.
Didn't hear.
I didn't actually hear that, so.
I did.
All good.
I
but-
did not. How many yards did you say we found there, Logan?
It was a couple of reams.
Yes, very non-specific.
It's I gotta do the math afterwards because
Okay, no worries.
like this is designed to get you enough money to begin and then go, all right, we've always wondered what to do when you win the lottery, so here's the winning lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a plan. First, we're going to get Zan onto the boat. Once Zan is on the boat, me and Barry are going to... Well, okay. Can we get all 4 of us in the boat with nothing? Or
Yeah.
just 3?
Oh no, you can get all 4 of you in the boat. It's tight, but
Okay.
anyway.
I kind of gesture over to Nate and I kind of say, how are you feeling? Kind of gesture, like wondering if he's still fairly intoxicated.
I'm just gonna go dunk my head in the water and see if that helps.
Sure.
I think. Oh, bye.
I mean, no.
Okay.
But
Um,
I feel refreshed.
You're chemically imbalanced right now, man. You have alcohol in your system. It feels like really good. You almost spend a little bit too much time under the water and forget that there's a breathing part that you should be doing.
You want me to carry him? He seems a little gone.
So I have an idea. Let's have Nate wait here.
By
I'll bring
himself?
Zan. Yes. No. Barry and Nate away. Barry and Nate away here. I'll bring Zan over to the boat. I'll leave Zan on the boat. I'll come back, and me and Barry will bring a crate over. Then me, Barry, and Zan will load the crate.
You're gonna leave Nate by himself?
We'll be fine.
We're gonna
Okay.
somebody at some point. People are gonna have to be alone by themselves because it's just the way that this is gonna have to work.
So leave the drunk guy?
I'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
he'll
don't
be
want
fine.
him,
I'm
I don't
over
want him to help lifting expensive goods. That's all.
Okay.
He's
okay.
intoxicated. And I really want you to be able to be the one that's helping us get them onto the ship because you're the strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree to that. I'm definitely the strongest.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make this work. So Logan, me and Zan are going to go down, and I'm going to bring Zan over to the ship.
Okay. Can I get both of you to make athletics checks as you row your boat?
24.
23.
Oh yeah, for sure. You guys move a rowboat faster than rowboats have ever been rowed, and it only takes about 15-20 minutes before you are up against the side of this ship, which you can now see you can now see the ship's name, and the ship is called the Osprey.
Oh, it's so
Nice.
cool.
That's
Good
pretty
name, good
badass.
name.
So cool, Logan.
You're
Cool.
welcome.
Okay. Is there an obvious way up? I mean, obviously
Yeah.
there's a winch or some sort of
No,
system.
there's a jumping ladder, so it's a rope ladder that is hung over the side that people usually descend on. So you can
Okay.
attempt to climb
Huh?
the ladder.
I'm gonna slap Zan on the butt as he
Huh?
goes up.
Ooh.
All right, can I get Zan to give me an athletics check?
That's surprisingly only a 10.
You still rock it up there. There's no problem. You're
Okay.
fine. Can I get and then so Zan,
I'm gonna stay in the boat.
Okay, all right. So Zan, you're on the deck of the Osprey. I need you to make a just a perception check real quick.
16.
Oh yeah. On initial glance, the Osprey is for sure abandoned. You can see that the two main sails have been kind of rolled up and tied off, and there doesn't look to be any watch people. And as you climb up and get over there, you've actually disturbed a bunch of birds, and they all just kind of take off in different directions, and it's just you and a very, very, very filthy deck.
I kind of yell up and I'm like, "Is there anybody up there with you, man?"
Just some birds.
Okay, well I'm gonna go back. You look around. I'm gonna
Wait.
go back.
Wait, before you go, how do I, where's the loading bit? We just gonna throw ropes down, tie it around, and I pull it up, or?
I think that's how it's gonna have to work, right? Is there a crane or something?
That's what. I'll look for one.
No.
That's what I thought. Do I have rope? Wait.
So the
I do have rope.
sailor boy would typically know that the cranes are kept dockside. So the cranes would load the stuff into the ship into the cargo hold, and then would carry it up over. You kind of looking at it now, doing the finger math. Those crates were likely just kind of pitched overboard, confirmed that they were watertight, and then pulled with the rowboat back.
Okay. Well then, I guess that's the plan then, right?
I got some rope, so I can throw it down.
I got some rope too. I'm gonna go get the first. I'm gonna get Barry in the first crate,
Okay.
and then we'll tie it off to the boat, and then
Mhm.
we'll drag them in to the dock, and we'll load up on the dock, and then we'll decide what we're doing after that.
Okay.
Okay.
For the sake of ease, I have but one question.
Okay.
Where is the potion?
I have it.
Yeah, Zenrock has it.
You didn't leave Nate alone with the potion.
No, I
No.
put it.
No, because I would have drank it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no.
Super great. So it takes probably about an hour and a half. You guys shimmy the crates. You kind of close them up. Do your best to keep them watertight. and then you start rolling them across. We could do a bunch of dice rolls, but ultimately you would just keep rolling dice until you were successful. So I'm happy just to move on with our lives.
That's fair.
And what I will need, though, is whoever... So you have 3 crates that need to be hauled up, and one of them you can just take the stuff that was in it and then pocket it. So the first crate... Which crate are you going to put up first, and who's going to tie the rope off to the crate?
Let's try with the silk first, because that's the least important.
I also don't want to get it wet.
Yeah, it's the least
Yeah.
important, though.
Well, it's the most important.
No.
If it gets wet, its silk is ruined.
Okay, then the plants. Who cares about the plants?
Okay, I have a pretty good plan.
Oh, my mistake. The booze crate is empty if you've passed the 4 casks around, so it would just be 2. So it's silk and plants.
Okay, so then here's the plan.
Here's
Zan,
the plant?
yeah, the plan. Zan, me and Barry are gonna do our best to tie up the crate. Then I'm gonna come up the ladder. Barry's gonna stay in the boat, and me and you, Zan, are gonna pull it up, and Barry's gonna be down there to kind of like brace it as it's coming up to make sure it goes smoothly. Okay?
Right, if you leave a guy line, he'll be able to
Yeah.
help guide it up to the deck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
who's staying in the boat and who's basically going to roll dexterity to have a good knot?
Barry, would you like to?
Right, if you could give me a few pointers on what knots to tie.
I'm not very. It's funny because like I'm the sailor, but I'm not very dexterous. But
I'm sure you've seen how they tie knots on a ship.
Yeah, I have. I was more of a scrub the deck as opposed to drive the boat. But maybe me and Barry together can try our best. Is that a thing that we can do?
Yeah, sure, I'll give you advantage on it. I mean, both of you are looking at this thing like, well, if you can't tie knots, just tie lots.
Tie lots, yeah.
So roll dex at advantage.
Yeah, sure.
Dex save or dex check?
Check. You ain't saving. Come on now.
20.
Yeah, all right.
Nice.
Looks like it's going to hold.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up the ladder to help Zan at the top.
All right. So, Zan, I need you to roll a strength check at advantage.
Okie That would be a 24.
Oh, yeah. For sure. The two of you, like, Sirius is there helping. It's predominantly Zan who's just heaving this thing up. And it is, what was it, plants? Silks?
The silk.
Yeah.
Silks first.
Silks aren't terribly heavy. And there may be a lot of it, but you still manage to haul this thing all the way up. And it kind of crests the side of the guardrail. And then this is when you notice just kind of the bad shape that this ship is in. The guardrail breaks because of the rot that is inside the wood. So you've gotten the crate in, but now there's a portion of the guardrail that's about like port side, just a little bit abaft the beam. So imagine halfway, and then a little bit beyond, like a little bit behind that, where your port jumping ladder is. That section of guardrail has been ripped off, and now because you didn't put the sailor boy up there first, the sailor guy's starting to look around, and this ship is in bad shape. She's seen better days.
Okay, well, I mean, us getting rich, well, first, we gotta get... There's a lot of work to be done here. These pirates didn't take care of, I don't know how, maybe, okay, there's 2 options. Either they didn't take care of it, or this thing's been out here in the rain and the shit for a long time. I worry a little bit about the sails, but we don't have time to bring those down and look at them yet. I want to make sure that we can get the next crate up. So I'll kind of smile at Zan and say, well, there's an easy way to get the stuff up now, that nice hole.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go back with Barry, and we're gonna try and get the crate of... I'm sorry, the name of the plant is again?
Arcania.
Arcania. We're gonna go get the crate of Arcania.
Shortened to Arc.
Arc. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna go get the crate of Arc and then try and do the same thing again with that.
Another dex check at advantage.
Assuming that...
Same plan.
Okay, yeah.
23.
Okay. And then Zan,
Zan,
do
yep.
your thing.
Woo!
Make heave ho.
Only a 20 this time.
Oh.
You actually hesitate for a second, and then promptly haul it up into the space. But it was close. It was real close.
Oh.
Oh, I kind of pat him on the back, and I'm like, oh man, that was close.
Yeah, super close.
So now, I assume Barry will climb up the jumping ladder. Now we have Barry, Nate, Xanaruk, and Sirius on the deck of the Osprey with 2 crates, one of arcane arc, and another of silks. What would you like to do now?
First,
Well,
first
what
thing
are
I
we
would
going to
like-
do with the boat?
First thing I would like to do is, Barry, your
Hey.
elf eyes are always so sharp. Do you mind doing a good once-over for me?
Of the ship?
Top deck, below deck, everything.
Aye, he'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Perception?
I'm going to call it investigation because you're
Roger.
going all the way around.
Ugh, that's only a 9.
Oh,
You're still new to boats, and it's not a ship yet because you haven't put your boat on it.
True.
But there are 2 decks. So there is the weather deck where you guys are currently standing, and then just about a little bit aft of the forward mast. There's a little hole with some stairs that you can go down. The stairs creak. The lower portion, the lower deck, is it's in better shape, but that really isn't saying much. So one half of this trading caravel has been essentially repurposed and emptied out into a storage area, while the other half is kind of like makeshift crew quarters. It is just a big open space.
Okay.
With like support structures for structural integrity, but it hasn't been. It's designed to take as much cargo on, get it below decks through the main cargo hatch, and then drive to the next place, and then take as much of it off and turn as much of a profit as possible.
Is there a ship's manifest anywhere?
I haven't gotten to that point.
Okay.
So that's the lower decks, where it's just kind of like choose your own adventure. You get to do whatever you want, and then you get to the upper decks, and you actually take a stock of the upper decks for the first time, and there are 4 cannons, 2 on each side.
Ooh.
So these cannons are something, Barry, you have never seen before. They are big iron tubes with dwarven runes that spiral around them, with a slot in the back that seems to be missing something. You're supposed to put something in that slot, and then presumably the cannon will activate or be able to activate or something. It's clear that there's a spot missing.
What do the runes say?
Do you read Dwarven?
Dwarvish is one of my languages.
Okay, then roll an Arcana check.
13.
They are magic runes, and the cannons are magic, and they are an empty receptacle that needs to be charged by arcane power.
Interesting.
And then up forward, you find a similar tube that is up at an angle, where the 2 cannons on the port and starboard side were kind of level. This one sits at about a 45-degree angle, and down next to it is a small box with a kind of what looks to be like a flame thing written on it.
I'm sorry, I cut out for a sec. I just missed that last little bit. What did you say?
So there's a small box with a symbol of a flame on it that sits next to a cannon that sits at about a 45-degree angle, and it's a slimmer tube.
Would I know that this is some sort of artillery cannon or something like that?
I mean, you would, but this is Barry rolling around.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Is there any dwarven written on that flame box?
No. But I think you're able to intuit that is and it is a storage for explosives.
Yeah, I figured fire. It's going to be full of fire, and I'm not going to poke it.
You open it up and it immediately erupts into flame. No. So you kind of take a tour a little bit forward. So you've checked out the bow. You proceed aft now up onto the wheelhouse. and there's a fairly sizable wheel that is looking like it's connected to a rudder. There is a table, and on that table is a book that was left open that has been exposed to the element and has rotted away. And underneath it was a map or a chart, depending on what you want to call it, that has
Water
also
map.
been exposed to the elements and has also rotted away.
Okay. And there's nothing discernible to take if I flip through that book.
That's correct.
Okay. Damn, I was hoping to find some fancy parchment and quills.
I mean, there might be stuff below deck.
That's a fairly open.
It's just open?
There wasn't anything.
Right, the lower deck is completely gutted.
Mm.
Okay,
It's a large open space with a little bit of room to sleep for the crew.
okay.
I have no idea what
mostly
these
worried
fucking
about-
iron tubes are for. There's a bunch of dwarven arcane runes written on them.
They're cannons.
A what now?
You
What?
put in a runic plate in the back, and it expels magic at a distance.
Huh.
You're having me on, aren't you?
No, I'm really serious. I know them very well. I've had them used on me and have used them before.
Pun intended?
So, Sirius, you take a look around and you find basically a magazine case, and you pop one open, and there's a fairly standard arcane plate. There's only about 4 left, and you could slide it into the cannon and give it a test fire if you like.
Okay, we have 2 choices. I can waste one and show you how it works, or you can trust me, boys.
I'll take you at your word, but it sounds kind of...
It's absolutely spectacular.
Use it now.
Okay, we got 1 vote for use it, 1 vote for keep it.
Use it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to keep it, so anybody
Aye,
have
so do
dice?
I.
Alright.
In character, does anybody have a dice set?
No.
Wait out.
I don't think so, no.
Rochambeau?
Hang on a tick. I just gotta check something. Sorry. Wait one. Damn you, sheets, where are you?
I just take a gold. I'm assuming gold has a face on it and not a face on it in this world.
You pull out a gold, and this actually is a Confederate gold. So on
Okay.
one hand, the tails is a kind of a crude drawing pressing of the arc plant, and then the heads. This is a commemorative, Confederation Day, and it is of a ship whose name is. Hold on, I gotta find it.
The blue nose? No.
You would know it because you have seen it before, but it is a pressing of the ship called the Revenant, which is the Confederate flagship.
I look at Barry and I say, Revs or arcs?
Arcs.
I flip it.
Give me a D4. 1 and 2 is revs, and 3 and 4 is arcs.
It's arcs.
Well, all right then.
So we're shooting the cannon?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yay.
So Sirius kind of rolls up, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he rolls up and he just kind of slides the plate home, and you look out, and it's a fairly nice. It's kind of transitioning into evening. You've been underneath the temple for a little bit longer than you originally thought, and Sirius, you look down and you notice that there's a particular mechanism that is missing, and there is a spot to drop the hammer, but there isn't a spot where the dropping string usually is. So you might have to improvise one.
But isn't this gonna attract a lot of attention we don't necessarily need if we fire enough? Something
Also,
loud?
it's kind of broken.
Fine. We don't have to fire it right now.
Okay, well, I promise
Okay.
when they're fixed, we'll go out, we'll go into the bay, and fire off a big one for you, boys.
We only have 4 of them,
Fire
right?
at someone?
Wait, we can't be terribly far from Yorick. Wouldn't they hear that?
Aren't we
I mean-
still in Yorick?
Yeah, we're gonna go back to you. Well, actually, we don't have
Well,
to.
we're outside the cove. I assume we're not in the city
We didn't-
anymore.
We didn't talk about this.
Hmm.
We have a lot of options now, boys. Also, we haven't looked at the sales yet. I would like, maybe with the assistance of anybody who wants to help me, to get the sails down and see if they're in okay shape.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Okay.
I get both of you to roll athletics checks as you kind of crawl all the way up the mast and start working your way through the lashings on the sail.
19.
Mine's a 12, unfortunately.
Okay, so Xanaruk gets up there, and you're like looking back, waiting for Sirius to finally make it up there, and he's a little gassed, but he makes it. You guys cut and then cut the lashings and then slowly let the sails down, and they are moldy and full of holes. So,
Nice.
Sirius, you're able to look at this and know that your ship will move at 50% speed until you repair your sails.
Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, these goods, we have a choice. We can take the goods, sell them, make a profit, ditch the ship. Which is a valuable point. I understand that maybe somebody would want to do that. Or we can sell these goods, take the gold, get the ship repaired at one of the bigger ports, and then make so much more money in the long run.
I mean, we probably can't sell the goods in York anyways. It's too small.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
king's a little
I would-
control-y.
Yeah.
But,
well,
hey,
I'm
but
just-
he's the king. Kings have treasuries.
True.
Yeah, but he's the king of 100 people.
Also true.
And Sirius, you would know that the shipwright in Yorick that you would have seen when you rolled up, while not particularly Yorick, while not being particularly large, still has a remarkably capable shipwright. You're actually kind of confident you could get the repairs done. It'll take time, but you could get the majority of the repairs done given the amount of
Silk.
traffic that you're carrying.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a valued option. We could probably get this done in York. We would trade I'm assuming a lot of the silk would probably go for it, but if that's something we all agree on, I think having the ship in working condition is much more valuable than having the gold from the silk in our pockets. But that's just my opinion.
I'd rather have a ship than the coin.
Fair enough.
I agree with that.
Barry?
Well, you said having a ship will lead to more coin than what we have with just
so
this.
much more, Barry.
Not to
So
mention the
much more.
fact that I am in a stage where there are many things I'd like to see and learn.
This is the best way to do it, buddy.
Not only the best, but the fastest.
For sure. She looks fast. If she was in good shape, she'd probably go.
Oh,
Pretty
God,
quick.
no, she'll beat me on my 2 feet.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
So-
I'm down to trade the silks for a ship.
Okay. Well, I think this is a solid plan, boys. Welcome. I mean, okay, but
Can the four of us operate this ship on our own?
would I know that we could probably figure it out enough that we could get it back to York?
Yes, and yes.
Yeah, I think we can do it. Yeah.
You probably spend about an hour just kind of like working them through the general way of how you hold on to the wind, and then you also know that you're not going to get super close to Yorick. You're going to have to get close enough, drop the anchor, drive your rowboat in, and then make deals, and then kind of like work out a moorage fee as the rowboats are going to have to come out and grab onto you or something like that. But bringing a sailing ship into a port is a costly and time-consuming endeavor.
Fair enough.
Do we have an approximate timeline?
You could do it in a day. Like,
Okay.
You
Okay.
can get to Yorick, get in the boat, and you kind of drop the anchor with... Yeah.
Sorry, I meant for the repairs, not to get to York.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Well, if we're agreed, then let's get this anchor up. And,
Well, first, should we not grab that boat that we used to get out here?
oh yeah, of course. Is there a way that is there a winch to winch it up, Dion?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily to winch it up all the way. It's just kind of like to winch it up
Out of
to
the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone will have to get down on the boat. You kind of awkwardly like pass a boat rope down. You move it a little bit forward. It gets in place of the winch. You drop the hook all the way down, hook it on, and then Xanaruk just bicep curls it all the way up.
I guess I'm the
Okay.
smallest, so I'll head down to the boat.
Okay. Yeah, I agree, Barry. Go ahead, buddy.
Now that being said, I get naming rights to the boat. If this is the Osprey, the boat's the hatchling.
I agree. I
I'm
thoroughly
okay with that
agree.
name. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Great. So Barry, you're in the hatchling, and you give me just like a dexterity check to
For sure.
pass a rope up.
Dexterity check. Okay, so that's not what I was thinking. It's a 24.
Oh, for sure.
Mm.
It gracefully arcs up over the guardrail, and then I don't know, Sirius grabs onto it and just kind of like pulls you a little bit forward. The hook drops down, no problem. You latch it on to the internal bridle that the rowboat has, and then Xanaruk, you just start cranking this thing, and because it's a winch, you don't need to roll anything. It's just going to come out of the water.
Easy
Perfect.
peasy.
Why didn't we leave
perfect.
the crates in this thing and use the fucking winch to get the cargo in?
I didn't know it was there.
Oh.
Hey, we know for next time it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, a boat winch is different than a cargo winch.
But you leave the
That is-
cargo in the boat, and you have a cargo winch.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. It's not like I'm DMing this thing.
Rocks fall, Barry dies.
Berries fall, rocks die. Okay, so you attempt to set sail. So first things first, you are at anchor, and your sails are down and just kind of like tentatively lashed.
Okay, so not tied in tight yet.
No. Can you? Who's driving? Who's gonna be on the helm?
Well,
Who has navigator's tools?
Now, is it more
I
like
do.
is it more strength oriented or dexterity oriented to helm the ship?
To
I'm
helm the
proficient
ship,
in naval, whatever it is.
so
It's not a skill, but it's.
It is fucking now. So, Sirius, you now have the skill called Sailor.
I can make it right now.
You can give basically wisdom plus your proficiency, and whenever you attempt to drive your ship, you will make a sail check, and that also has different impacts on when inevitably you get into a ship fight. So
Okay.
that'll be a good thing. So with Sirius at the helm, you guys kind of, he just yells at you who needs to heave in on what in order to make tight the foresail. The aftersail you just kind of leave, and it immediately starts to catch the wind, and you begin to ride up on the anchor a little bit.
So I guess we haul this in, yes?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the three of you get on the capstan up forward, which is, you know, the thing where there's the four like wooden arms that people just like push around in circles.
Like the thing they put Conan on.
Yeah, that's right. So you guys, Conan the Barbarian, reef the anchor up, and it catches a little bit, but with the three of you there, it comes up just fine. And so now the Osprey and its crew are officially at sea.
Yay!
Done.
So, Sirius, can I get you to roll a sail check, please?
Oh
The
shit!
first
you're-
one's a good one. I'm not lying. This is a natural 20. So
Oh
23.
yes.
So you
Dang.
angle the ship, and you guys are at sea, enjoying the beautiful sea breeze, taking a look at just kind of like the sunset kind of cascading colors, and in no time, you...
Wait. Before we get there, I'm gonna motion to Zan. I'm gonna be like, "You want to pop open one of those casks?"
Yeah. I'll pop
Yeah.
open your cask.
I think this is the time to have a little whiskey. Do we not? I'm only gonna have like. I'm not gonna drink like Zan does. I'm gonna have like one shot of
You're
whiskey.
gonna, you're gonna
Like a finger of whiskey.
a
Yeah,
snifter.
that's it. Yeah.
So Xanaruk, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, because I assume you're drinking all of it.
A quarter of it.
Well.
Okay, you're fine. You don't need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
However, you have tasted this before. What is the name of the distillery that you visited during your background?
Ooh, oh god. Oh.
I'm not asking you to quiz you. I just want to know, like, we didn't come up with a name for it, so just come up with a name for it.
Janix Distillery.
Okay, spell that.
Janick.
Janix Distillery, and this particular whiskey is of a certain vintage. It probably has its own kind of brand name. What kind of brand name is it?
Ooh. The old dog.
The Old Dog. The Old Dog whiskey. So, burned onto the front of each cask is a droopy-faced bloodhound. And you all enjoy the Old Dog whiskey, and it is delightful. There's like...
Is it dwarven?
Yes.
Mhm.
All the best whiskey is.
Aye, fair point.
Yes. The humans can try, but it's never as good.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I can vouch for that.
That being said, if you want wine, you go to the elves.
Oh, well, yeah.
Eh,
All right. So you guys are enjoying your snifter of whiskey.
Oh, the violin is out and sea shanties abound.
Okay.
Perfect.
So now I need the four of you guys to come up with your sea shanty, and this will become the Osprey's call.
Oh,
my.
no.
So, in the same way that I assigned homework previously, over the next week, I would like you four, totally separate from me. I don't want to get involved at all.
Okay.
Give me a sea shanty. We only need like 2 or 3 verses with like a nice chorus that runs together really well, and we'll call it the Osprey's Call.
That's
Okay.
also that's also just a great name for us, the Osprey's Call.
All right. I mean,
That
if
is a
there-
great name.
If there are
It's
no
Or the
objections,
Yeah,
mean, like-
I'm down.
yeah.
Let's do it.
okay, great. So
Right.
the Osprey and her call sail
Oi,
in.
lighten up. Who's the bard in this group? I don't come into your fighting backyard. Stay out of mine.
Okay, well,
I apologize.
Very valid point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm drunk.
But I will mention that I actually am a pretty good singer.
yeah, I'm not.
I can attest to that.
All right,
Yeah.
well, y'all motherfuckers, it's time to come up with a sea shanty. In the meantime,
I can play the drum.
let's move on with this game that we're playing. So,
Oh,
Uh,
not in real life.
you make it to just kind of like outside Yorick, and you can see like one vessel kind of underway that's leaving Yorick, leaving the dock open. How would you like to proceed?
Well, I think the best choice of action is to have somebody go down to the hatchling, bring the hatchling in, and ask to pay for mooring, which is what I think it's called, and we'll offer trade for silk to moor, and then have the ship looked over, repaired, and the sails what do you call it when you get new sails?
You get new sails.
Yeah,
Okay.
seven.
Sorry,
Me.
everything in sailing has a word for it. I was
Yeah.
expecting there to be a sailing word
I'm
for
not
it.
actually a sailor. I steamed for my entire thing. Like I just drove places, so I've had to learn a lot about how ships work.
Fair enough.
But the good news is you're gonna do that. So you get to a point and then you drop anchor because you're natural 20. We don't need to dick around with it anymore. You drop the pick. You're right up on it fairly easily, and then you get the hatchling in the water. Who goes ashore?
I mean, probably Barry.
Barry and Sirius.
Hey, that sounds fair.
So
Sirius knows what he's saying.
you're very serious about that decision?
Hilarious.
Been waiting 4 episodes to do that.
We all take 1d4 pun damage.
It's quite punishing. All right. moving on.
Oh.
So, because you have your winch, and the winch isn't totally rotted out,
Sweet.
Barry and Sirius are lowered down into the pristine ocean water, and you begin to make your way. Now, Sirius, are you going to row both oars, or are you going to give one oar to Barry and let him pretend like he's helping?
What, Barry? Would you like to assist?
Are you patronizing me?
Well, no. You're a little smaller than me, and you live with dwarves. I don't think you spent too much time in the ocean, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, I mean, and you watch for next time.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's athletics, so that's a non-natural 20.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
Nice.
you row your boat ashore, my lad. You come alongside at a portion of the pier. You just kind of like one of you hops out, the other one ties the rope up, and now you are at the pier in Yorick. A fairly large, gray-skinned humanoid pops his or her, you're not really sure from this distance, head out of the shipwrights shop and kind of ambles over and kind of looks down at your rowboat and back up to you and goes, I wasn't really expecting anyone else. We're about to close for the day. Are you seeking moorage? And then like looks out over at the Osprey and says, for that thing?
I kind of gesture to Barry, like letting him do the thing he does so good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what time of day is it? Sorry.
It like the sun is setting over the over Yorick because you are technically east of Yorick, looking to the west.
So Barry will kind of give a short little half bow back. Good afternoon. Our intent is to come alongside. However, we weren't planning on showing up today. That being said, if there's any way that you can accommodate us by the end of the day here to bring our ship alongside, that'd be wonderful. If not, then we'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like she's too heavy. I'm sure I could, but I'm gonna have to charge you overtime.
I kind of is pay in silk okay?
And it's a Goliath. Kind of looks at you and goes, yeah, fuck yeah, that'll work. That's great. That's awesome. Let's do it.
Right. So what is the usual base cost of a mooring for a vessel of our size, and what is the usual multiplier for overtime?
And then you can see this giant person attempting to do math in its head, and then simply says, "Well, it's
Let's put it this way: how much gold would I have to pay you normally to bring my ship alongside?"
Oh, to bring it alongside plus moorage fees. How many days are you staying?
We're looking to get the ship repaired, actually.
Aye.
Oh, spot of trouble out there. Okay, that's fair. It's pretty common these days. Tell you what, I'll cut you a deal because it looks like you need it. For 82 gold pieces, we'll bring her alongside, and I'll give you a free estimate on what I need in order to repair it.
Perfect. And you're perfectly happy accepting 82 gold pieces worth of silk as payment.
Sure. And then, so I did a little bit of math, and 82 gold pieces is like a wee square.
Hey, that sounds great, man. You're giving the mouthpiece like just so much material to work with, so I'm so happy with this.
Sure. That sounds great. Let's do it. And then
Alright, we have a deal.
It them just kind of like awkwardly regards your hand. Or did you spit in your hand? I assume.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I was raised by dwarves, for crying out loud.
Just kind of like reaches out and takes it, and you take 1 point of damage as he accidentally crushes your hand.
Oh, a strong grip you have. Very good. Aye.
Okay, great.
Careful with that hand. That's my playing hand.
So.
That was not a euphemism.
You size up the Goliath that is standing on the docks, and you're pretty sure this thing can bring your boat alongside, no problem.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. The Osprey is only 40 feet in length, so it's really not that challenging to bring her in.
Okay. I'm going to talk to the Goliath really quick, and I'm going to say, just for repairs, we're actually looking for quite a lot of work. She's in pretty rough shape. We're going to need new sails. We're going to need a full once-over to make sure there's no leaks or anything like that. A lot of the wood needs to be replaced.
Right.
Do you have any idea roughly what that's going to cost us here?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you're saying, okay, so wood, sails. Do you carry any cannon? Is that?
Yes. Some of our cannon will need to be repaired also.
Okay, so like 3, maybe 4,000 gold pieces, somewhere in there. Like that's a lot. And we're gonna have to custom make the sails to start. If you have that much silk, we could make it out of silk, but that's probably not a good idea.
No.
Fresh siding alone is gonna run you about 1,000, because it's from the if it's as bad as you're saying it is, we may have to dry dock it and then do a serious amount of repairs. And I don't own a dry dock. I just got this wee little pier. So why don't we bring it in and then we'll take a look at it.
That's fair, and we'll get what we can done here. And if more work needs to be done, we'll limp over to somewhere where we can dry dock it and get that done.
Why don't you give me a history check to see if you remember where the nearest dry dock would be.
Oh, that's so good. That's a 17.
17.
Yeah.
The nearest dry dock that would probably fit the Osprey, maybe Savine. You could probably luck out in Jansport, although Jansport's pretty busy. Lona would do it, but you're going to need pretty significant repairs in order to do any sort of sea crossings. So Savine's probably your best bet, or you could go all the way south to Lake Croix, and then tackle it in there. The elven shipwrights are usually pretty good. Or you could go to, what are some of the other places on this map that we drew? Snowmelt, the human capital, of course, will have a dry dock that will work.
What's the closest?
The closest would be Snowmelt, and then you would pass Gildren on the way up.
Okay, well, I think Snowmelt makes the most sense then, right?
Okay.
I relay that to Barry. What we can't get done here, we're gonna have to go and get at Snowmelt. That's the closest dry dock to get the what do you call it? The wood redone?
The siding.
Yeah.
The siding, yeah.
Aye.
Okay.
Well,
it's gonna cost us a pretty penny, but when it's done, it'll be worth it. She'll be fast.
Like you said, it's an investment towards future money.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and
exactly.
if we have enough goods now to pay for these repairs, it only makes sense to repair the ship and continue sailing.
Exactly. Okay, so then we kind of let's bring it in and get a look at it, kind of thing.
Aye.
To not belabor the point, because as much fun as it would be to listen to people trying to attempt to bring a boat alongside with a bunch of rolls, let's magic
Do
wand
it.
that.
Okay.
So the Osprey is in alongside with the help of your Goliath friend, who takes a look at it, and she immediately takes a look and says, "I'm going to need at least a day."
And then I say, a day you will have.
A day to assess or a day to fix?
A day to assess, at the very least. I mean, I'm gonna have to go seam by
Right.
seam on some of these joints. I gotta look at your mast. If your mast is rotted, she's done. There's nothing you could do short of just buying another one. And if you have as much money as I feel like you have, you could just get a new one. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna need a day, which means, do you guys have somewhere to stay, or are you gonna stay on board? Because I'm gonna probably start taking a run at some of this stuff now.
I'm sure we can find lodgings ashore. We have stayed here before.
Barry, you're very close to your microphone, buddy.
Why don't we just go back to the Black Spider?
There we go. We can, if you want to. I'm down to go. Also, I'm down to stay with the ship. There are beds on here, right, DM?
There are hammocks. They're technically beds.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'd say we should get out of the way of the shipmaster here. Let her do her work.
I think
We stay ashore.
I'm going to stay on the ship, but I recommend that you guys get a better sleep on shore.
I don't
Maybe.
mind staying
We
on the
should
ship.
we should leave at least one person with our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I was going to ask the DM if in my search I found anything that could be used to secure cargo, like behind a lock.
The cargo hatch could probably be locked. Do you have a lock on you?
Not yet, but I wasn't sure if the Goliath would have to get in there to actually check things out or not.
She would, yes. You're gonna have
Okay.
to. She's gonna have to have the full run of the ship in order to take
Yeah.
a look at it. And I mean, it's kind of over to you if you trust her, or if you. Right now, the two crates are just sitting on the deck.
Yeah, and I was hoping to roll an insight check to see if make sure the Goliath wasn't trying to,
Sure.
hoodwink us. Oh, I mean, I rolled really well. 7.
She's really excited to actually try and fix this this I can't think of this catastrophe. Thank you. Of ship. Like it is, if she can say that she once fixed a weather-beaten, rotten ship back to a full fighting order, she's going to be the talk of at least Yorick.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's do it. I'll stay on the ship. Everybody else, I'll hand the gold for everybody else to go have a good time.
Okay. How much gold do you hand out? Because I mean, you guys have collected some.
I'll hand them a platinum and say, boys, go have a wild time.
No, let's have a little group meeting.
Okay.
Prior to us heading ashore, we just spent the better part of a day cleaning out the worst basement in history. And in speaking with the half-orc farmer, the whole town knew about this. It makes sense we should go to the king and let him know that, how do I put this politely, the temple has been looked at, and...
Oh, Barry, you make a fine point, actually. Maybe
taking care of their problem that no one wanted to take care of.
Yeah, maybe you guys go and figure and deal with him, and I'll stay with the ship and make sure that nothing ungood happens.
I mean, he's probably asleep by now. He usually sleeps at like 7, right?
Aye.
I mean, we can go in the morning.
Yeah.
I think we should also go back and talk to the orc. Or the half-orc.
So he
That's
can beat
true.
you up again.
That'll be fun to watch.
I wasn't going to challenge him again. I was thinking that we should go talk to him because I think he has good insights.
Okay.
Fair.
Never hurts to talk.
And
Fair.
maybe I'll get beaten up again because that'd be kind of funny.
It would be, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm willing to pay for you guys to go have some drinks and stuff like that while I stay here and try my best to assist with everything that's going on with the ship.
Don't forget, it cost me double now. Yay.
That's why everybody else buy him drinks.
Smart.
Aye.
I mean, let's go have a couple drinks and then we'll come back. Why don't we just come back and spend the night here? We have hammocks. May as well.
Fair
Yeah, I've
enough.
never slept in a hammock before. Sounds fun.
It's not.
Well, worst case, I have a bedroll. I can sleep on the floor.
It's wet.
I like wet.
Don't we all?
Mm.
Phrasing.
Oh,
Okay. So the 3 of you go to the
Logan,
Black
you're so
Spider
far away.
and then
There we go.
enjoy a warm
Well-
evening.
are the shops still open?
Some of them are, maybe. So,
Okay.
the shipwright is in the middle of taking a look at the ship.
Yeah.
Just kind of like up off the docks is a small building. Written on it is Nix's Knacks, and is the general store, which there's still light on the inside, so there's probably still somebody there, but it looks like they're closing up shop for the day. And then the Black Spider is just like a couple of buildings down.
I'd like to scoot to that Nick's Knacks to see if I could scoot in before closing.
Sure. So you open the door and there's a little chime, and you can hear a small voice from behind the counter that you can see the counter, but you can't see where the voice is coming from, and you hear, hello?
Good evening. Are you still open?
Well, I guess you're here, so yes.
I won't take much of your time. I'm looking for a few things.
And you can hear somebody climbing something, and then a fairly small gnome pops up on the table that serves as kind of like the desk counter. And she goes, well, what can I do for you?
Well, good evening. So we're a crew who just pulled in. We just had our ship pulled into port, but we're looking to acquire a few things to help us with our ship.
Now,
Do you have on hand?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you may have just pulled in, but you also did the thing with the murder at the bar, right? You stand out. You're a half elf. There aren't many of you.
That
If
was
by
us.
murder you mean that we stopped the people who were rampaging against the town, yes. We did help in stopping crazy people from killing the rest of the town, yes.
We did murder the crazy people, so.
Murder is a strong word.
We
No, it was murder.
we did kill the people. Yeah.
Yeah, murder.
So the three of you are in the shop?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I prefer to think of it as preventing bloodshed. Further bloodshed.
well,
We did stop further bloodshed. Yeah.
Probably.
I suppose it's a good thing that you were there then. What is it that I could interest you in? As you can see, I have various things that I have accumulated.
Well, there's a few things that are at the top of our list for now. Kind of things that we don't have on our ship right now, and are a little important. We're looking for a chart, a map of the ocean, of the water around here. Do you have any charts, navigational charts?
Well, of course. And she motions over to a chart stall, and there's a pretty standard chart outfit that you could get that would have most of the area around. So you've got a portion of a bunch of the coasts, the area in and around Lona, Fortress Vaco, a couple of the islands inside the Shield Reef, and Jansport and Savine.
Okay.
It's she looks at it. There's already a price tag that's on it, and it says 150 gold pieces.
Okay.
Ooh. It's a pretty penny.
Do you also have a manifest that we could buy? A blank manifest.
Oh yeah, well yes, of course.
Alright.
That'll only cost you, oh geez, like five silver pieces. And if you're looking for registration, you can register out of Yorick.
I'll have to discuss that with the captain of the ship for registration. However, if I could at this point purchase the register, ink and quill, in order to write things in the manifest, and perhaps if you also have a padlock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that around here somewhere. Hold on, and she kind of like opens up a drunk drawer, and there's a padlock with a key that's inside of it, and she just kind of tosses it out, heads over, does what she can to lift this chart outfit that apparently weighs almost as much as she does, and kind of like she heaves it up onto a table, and then gathers up the pen, quill, ink, and the manifest that you were talking about, and puts it all there and goes, if you buy the chart outfit, the manifest, the ink and quill, I'll give you the lock. You can just have the lock.
Perfect. Now I don't have the funds on me to buy the chart. Oh, what the hell do you call it? Shit, blanking.
Chart outfit.
The chart outfit currently. We do have the funds for it, but I don't have them on my person. But I am glad to know you have them, and that we will be purchasing them from you.
Well, I mean, if she wants to trade, we have all these useless goblets and paintings and stuff.
Well, I'm a bit of an art collector myself, so
Right.
you could. How about I'll hold on to it, I'll bundle this all up, and then you can come and collect it in the morning.
Zan, you also, I'm not there, but Zan, you also have the gems.
Yeah, I know.
And then you could bring some of the art pieces by.
That sounds like a wonderful plan,
Oh.
and I appreciate your business.
Well, I await your return. Fair winds and following seas.
And the same to you, lass.
I mean, I have the stuff on me, but we can come
What?
back tomorrow.
I completely forgot you did, but we don't need it right now. As long as we have it in the future.
Let's come back in the morning, because we
Okay.
might have like a few more things we want to add to that pile, anyways.
Aye.
Okay.
Well, to the tavern.
To the bar.
Okay. So the three of you head to the bar. Let us switch now over to Sirius.
What's up?
So Sirius, you finally take stock of the Osprey.
Okay.
You take a look at the charting table and open up one of the kind of like sub drawers, but it's one of those like storage drawers. It's not like a sliding drawer with all your where you put playing cards and stuff in it. And
Okay.
sitting on the inside of it is a sextant.
Oh, perfect.
So this sextant now allows you to make with survival rolls in order to determine your location, but you need corresponding charts to be able to determine that. So one of the risks of going to sea in this campaign is you can get lost. Now, a sextant will help you triangulate your position based off of star charts. Now, typically every chart outfit would have associated star charts, and you can kind of like do the math. We don't necessarily need to get into triangulation with sextants. At the end of the day, you can get a pretty decent idea of where you are, plus a little bit of math, dead reckoning, and just keeping a really good record of your average speed while you transit. So in game, the mechanism will be if you lose your chart outfit or your sextant, you have no way of determining where you are.
Fair enough.
And that is a hard stop. You will not be able to roll. You just straight don't know. And that is unless someone has a way of magically divining where north is, and then you can kind of figure it out from there. The sea looks remarkably the same.
It's a whole lot of blue and a whole lot of sky.
A whole lot of blue and a whole lot of sky. I am now going to give you the stats for the Osprey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got a pen.
All right. So the Osprey is broken into 6 sections: the port forward, starboard forward, port middle, starboard middle, port aft, and starboard aft.
Okay, I'm gonna draw a little ship,
Sure.
and this might take a second.
Sure.
Okay, so you said port forward. So it's a line down the middle and then 6 sections, right?
Correct. With port being the left, starboard being the right.
Yeah, because port and left, they have the same amount of letters.
That's right.
Okay, I'm ready for that.
Okay, so each section of the Osprey has 40 hit points.
Okay.
If any one of your sections goes to 0, you will begin to take on water.
Okay.
If you lose 2 sections on one side, you will capsize.
Fair enough.
Your ship right now, due to its rotted wood, has a hardness value of 2. So any incoming damage you will deduct 2 from. If you manage to replace the entire siding, your hardness value will go to 5. If
Okay.
you upgrade your hardness value by getting armor plating, you can increase your hardness value to something higher. However, you will take penalties to your speed.
Okay.
If you sail with the wind fully in your sails, and your sails are at 100%, so once you get them replaced, you will have advantage on sail rolls.
Okay.
Your cargo deck can carry 50 tons. That's 50 tons.
Holy moly.
Yeah, ships can carry a lot of shit, man.
It's like they invented them to do that or something.
Yeah. You have 4 guns and a mortar.
Yep.
Each gun per side. So I'll let you decide whether your guns are like all 4 of them are about on your port or starboard middle, or you can move the guns around. The Osprey was designed to have more guns, and I'll just like leave it up to you as to like you have 1 gun at the starboard forward and 1 gun at starboard middle or whatever it is, because ultimately if those areas take damage, then you will likely end up damaging those guns.
Fair enough.
The 4 plates that you found are considered force plates. So
Okay.
one of the other guys, or you, while you're driving for whatever, will be able to make an attack roll based off of either their dexterity or your dexterity. We can get into that a little bit later. But basically, naval combat will be each gunner attacks in their initiative order, and the force plates do 2d12 damage.
Okay.
Jesus.
You don't have any of the other shots that we talked about.
Yeah.
You
But we
do
can get them from
yeah,
places.
for sure. You do have 3 fire mortar rounds. So the mortar up front is designed to arc stuff into somebody you're chasing.
All right.
The fire does 2d6 fire damage, and then there's a little bit of a basically fire game on the other side that is not good.
Okay. Yeah.
In general, ships and fire, not a good idea. You yourself know that there are many different types of shot out there. There is no way to determine what the shot is until it's shot at you. So there's
Fair enough.
fire, force, armor piercing, shrapnel, and lightning. So lightning will screw with your guns. Force is about purely trying to lay as much damage into the hull as possible. Armor piercing will do less damage because it's just going to rip through the entire ship. However, it will ignore 2 hardness points and only do 1d12 damage. Shrapnel is basically you just the plate itself breaks and then fires, and the plate is what gets thrown out there. It does no damage to the ship. However, everybody inside the affected area that is shot at needs to make a dexterity saving throw for half damage on 3d8 piercing damage.
Okay.
It's basically a naval shotgun.
Yeah.
Naval shotguns also have a limited range, so FYI.
It's got to be close.
Yeah, closer than the force shots or armor piercing. And then finally, mortars. Mortars are obviously only forward. They don't really swivel. You can design them to swivel later on if you so desire. But you just drop mortars in there, and then they will arc over into the ship you're chasing and try and essentially light typically the wheelhouse on fire in order to cause so much problems.
Fair enough.
There is an opportunity for ships to be warded, and that's a thing that we can take a look at later on.
You're saying that this one is currently not.
That's correct. But you do know that it is possible to have wards cast on your ship or to have someone casting wards on your ship while they're driving.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so good fucking luck with that.
I wrote all of that down.
And finally, your armor class is 11.
Okay.
So
Did everybody else hear that too?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was writing some stuff down,
Same.
Thank you.
trying
Thank you.
to keep up with it.
Uh,
So is our AC 11 plus 2 or just 11?
It's 11, and then you just have a standing damage reduction of 2.
Oh, damage reduction. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the AC day. It's just for them to hit us.
Got it.
And what's our do we actually know our speed in miles per hour or knots or whatever it is?
You don't because you haven't gotten her up to full speed yet.
Okay.
And
Fair
your
enough.
speed value currently is halved.
Because of the condition of the ship.
Because of the condition of the sails. So the fresh siding does something, the chart outfit will do something, and the new sails will do something else. So that, Sirius, you basically spend the rest of your night wandering around the ship, taking stock of our. Congratulations, you have now unlocked the full stats of the Osprey.
All right.
Nice.
After I'm done, I'm gonna try and sleep.
Okay. You sleep, and it is a good time.
Okay, I'm gonna take my long rest.
Okay, and then Barry, Nate, and Xanaruk, is there anything that you would like to talk about in the tavern? The High Elf is there again, kind of excited that you guys are back. Gestures to, like, she could flip the blackboard over and show you a little bit of that sunny side of life if you're interested.
Meh.
But basically, this is an opportunity for you guys to roleplay with one another, and then we'll just go to bed.
I put down 6 gold pieces and just get us each a nice thing of dwarven spirit, like dwarven whiskey.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you guys
Well,
basically just all 3 of you make Constitution saving throws to see who gets drunk first.
Uh-oh.
That's better.
20.
15.
10!
Barry's a teetotaler, and she gets
Oh.
gets like a comfortable buzz. You have a hard time feeling your lips and face.
You all right there, Barry? You're looking a little woozy.
And they say I can't hold my liquor.
Weren't you drunk just like an hour ago?
I'm fine.
The reason why Nate isn't hungover is because he's already drinking again.
It's not so much the alcohol and being drunk, it's just tasting the dwarven whiskey brings me home.
I feel you.
But you're an elf.
To be more accurate, I'm a half-elf,
Yeah. Same thing.
but I lived amongst dwarves.
Weird. But cool.
Barry, might I ask where? I spent the better part of my life in Verntodir.
Mm.
Barry, you have never heard of that place.
I've honestly never heard of it.
It's the Dwarven capital.
Aye, but I don't come from there.
Okay, where are you from?
I've only recently been able to get away from where I lived,
Oh,
but it's my family lives in Lona Onar. Commonly, you probably know it as Lona.
Sure.
I'm not sure that I'm not sure I know it actually.
Yeah.
Nate, give me a history check, because Xanaruk has no fucking chance of knowing what this is.
No, no idea.
Uh, that is a history check, which I'm decent at. 19.
Yeah, you've actually heard of Lona before. Lona is centered on a volcanic chain of islands, and the only thing Lona is really known for is its constant rivalry of the various dukes that are all trying to buy out more territory, and then the various mines that are underneath it, and obviously the major port that is Lona.
But it's actually off the coast.
But it's super far off the coast. Like, it is almost the furthest possible. Actually, it's fairly close to Yorick, but it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And that's particularly because it is known for its volcanic essence and the mineral deposits that come out from the kind of ever-evolving lava have been capitalized and used as their major resource. So really high-quality steel comes from Lona, as well as the other half of enchanting. So enchanting, you need magic. You also need a little bit of arc to give you the spark, and then you need some sort of weapon. And typically, weapons that come from Lona are preferred because of the high temperatures that their furnaces run at, but also the absence of impurities that a lot of the material has.
And I probably would have seen some of their weapons.
You probably have seen, maybe handled some. They're about as close to, like, they're the raw components for master work, but it still requires a master crafter to be able to use them.
Gotcha. I mean, I when I was younger, I spent a lot of time in Barentodir with a smithing family, and we saw more than a few of your blades, Lona's blades, make their way to us. So I've never actually met somebody from there.
Well, I can tell you, I don't have much to do with the weapons. From a young age, I was taken in by a friendly group of dwarves who taught me the ways of music, and singing, and writing, and entertaining.
Sounds like a good group of people.
Aye, they are.
Yeah.
It also explains why I talk like a dwarf, but I'm not one.
I was gonna say, I never lost my accent from growing up, but my brother did a little bit, and it's weird not being surrounded by dwarves all the time now.
I know how you guys feel, totally. Yep. So anyways, I'm just going to keep drinking.
Okay. Is there anything else you wish to bring up, reveal, participate in, say yes and to?
Do we know where we're going after we repair the ship?
Well, no. I don't know many places, so
Neither do
I'll
I.
leave that to you guys.
I know here, Lona, and one other place, which is where I made landfall. But personally, wherever the wind will take me is where I'll go.
Fair. Zanric, where are you from?
The north.
Same.
That's a strange city name.
Wasn't really a city where I'm from.
Not from a city.
No.
North Mountains or North Plains?
The north.
Fair enough.
All right, super great. I'm gonna say, y'all motherfuckers turn in for the night.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably
agree.
just.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you can all gain the benefits of a long rest. However,
Yay.
Oh,
Barry-
spell slots, yes!
Barry, you and I have something to talk about.
Oh.
So, you tuck yourself in, and you give yourself a very good night. You begin to dream. Your consciousness fades, and you are aware of the dream, and for a solid eternity, you are locked inside of your own body, standing in the Temple of Thorsden, staring at the counterclockwise jagged spiral. The spiral begins to rotate, and you are held in place. The effigy that is held underneath the spiral slowly begins to turn its head and looks at you. And between heartbeats, you are screaming internally to leave, but you are locked inside of your own body. You do everything you can to move. You will your body to respond to your commands, and nothing will happen. And the effigy curls into a smile, and all you hear is a very familiar and then you wake up the next morning.
Ugh. So the first thing that Barry does after that is pulls out his tiny cask of dwarven whiskey that we found in the crates, and takes a nice long pull.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a Constitution check?
Yes. 10.
You get a little buzz.
Okay.
Which basically means you drink any more alcohol, you are automatically drunk, and you're going to take disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
So the three of you convene in the morning, and Barry's got the bar tan. His cheeks are a little rosy, but you are free to move throughout the town on your own. And Sirius, you also have woken a little early, and you're standing on the deck of your newfound ship, overlooking all of Yorick. The one problem is you don't have any food on board.
Yeah. Is the Goliath around for me to kind of wonder if she didn't work overnight? Basically, she's going to do the thing today.
She did like a beginning check around overnight, but then called it a night, probably around midnight, and hasn't arrived to begin the day's work yet.
Okay, well I'm gonna head to the Black Spider and get something to eat.
Okay, so the four of you reconvene in the Black Spider for breakfast.
Hey, Barry, you're looking a little drunk. Did you not sleep enough?
It honestly felt like I slept too long but didn't get rest.
Huh. Can you do that? Can you sleep and not sleep? I don't get it.
Are shoes feet? For those of you who aren't tracking, that's a very famous Jaden Smith tweet.
Yes.
I was not tracking that one.
That's, yeah, it's one of my favorite things to ask when people ask questions like that. Are shoes feet?
Jeez. All right, back in
How
character.
can we even see if our eyes aren't real? Anyways.
I'm gonna kind of relay to the guys that at some point.
Hello?
Sorry, I had to cut away. My cats were fighting, and it was very loud.
Okay.
my fiance was yelling at them, and I turned the mic off really quick. That they're currently looking over the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yes.
there's some calamity at my house right now.
You
Hold
mean,
just 1 second.
Catastrophe?
Yeah. Exactly. They were fighting, and then he went. Then there was a bolt. There's a lot going on. Anyway, I'm going to relay that the Goliath has started to go over the ship. It's going to be about a day till she's done, and until then we have, as a kindergarten teacher would say, free time.
Yeah,
That's
so
a kindergarten.
there's a lot of things that you guys threw out there. So you wanted to talk to the king. You wanted to meet up with the half-orc. Go into the general store to complete your purchase. Like, all of it is kind of like, it really all depends on what order you wish to do things in.
Well, I don't know about
Yeah.
the general store. I wasn't there, but I would be interested in getting that stuff.
So, like, should we go get that stuff from that lady we talked to last night?
You all
And I
don't
look.
also have to go everywhere, right? You guys can break it up. Like if Nate wants to go talk to the half orc at the same time as Barry confronts the king, that's also doable.
Okay.
Like in my head, I would potentially suggest that we talk to the half orc before talking to the king. Um,
All right,
just
that
just
makes
because
sense.
he seemed
Well,
the king is far smarter than he lets on,
really?
and yeah,
Sure.
He
I
seems really dumb.
I know, but I have a very strong feeling that he he's putting on a show, whether for
I'm
himself
gonna
or for others.
realize that we have a bajillion dollars worth of silk on the ship, and I'm gonna run back to the ship.
But
Okay.
Well,
where are you going?
well,
I'm just gonna say, get the shards or whatever. I'm gonna stay with the silk because, yeah, duh.
so why don't we get the charts first, then talk to the orc guy, then the king.
I have left and gone back to the ship, and I'm gonna for this, whatever you guys are doing, just know that I'm at the ship doing the ship things. So you guys decide what you guys want to do.
Okay. Well, Barry, you need to find a way to get dollars. So
Well, so like we have all this stuff, and I pull out 4 goblets, a nice gem bowl, and some painting.
I
They
also
all look really expensive.
Perhaps she'll trade for them.
before I went to bed, I would have cleaned the chain shirt
Yep.
that I took,
Yep.
and I also like I take that. I'm like, we also can sell this.
Oh, and we have these gems, and I pull out 9 gems.
I also have the spell book still.
Well, I say we hang on to the book, but do we know how much these gems and these caps are worth?
No
Well,
idea.
I mean, I wrote it down, but I don't think Xanaruk would know how much they're worth.
Barry, you can look at him and give him an appraisal if you like.
Yeah, please.
Okay, Xanaruk, tell him how much they're worth.
Okay, so the
Okay.
4 goblets, the nice painting, and the gem bowl are all 25 gold each,
And there's 6 items. Okay.
and the gems are all 10 gold each.
There you go.
We're carrying
And there's
a
9
decent
gems.
amount.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks. Alright, so, the lady at the store said that she was willing to trade out items for the stuff we want to buy.
Hmm.
So I think it makes sense. I'm not sure why Sirius took off, but
Something
was
about
hoping-
silk?
I have things.
I would also like to add to the stuff that we're gonna buy a healer's kit, just because I feel like we're gonna need one sooner rather than later.
Not a bad idea. Right, so we got this stuff to try and trade with. I say we go try and get the those items we had put aside for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So I'll
Let's
finish
go.
up my breakfast and gather my stuff and start heading out the door of the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alright. So you eat your breakfast, you gather your people, and then you head to Nix's Knacks.
So Barry will walk up and knock on the door and see if there's anyone in there.
You knock on the door like swings open, and it chimes.
Okay.
And you're there.
Perfect. I wasn't sure if it's gonna be open yet or not.
She looks
Good morning.
Oh, hello.
Hello there. So we've returned. We've had a chance to at least get a feel for where we are, and we'd love to talk again about that package you put aside for us that we'd like to pick up.
Of course. And like, the package comes out in a wheelbarrow that's specifically built to her size, but the charts are overflowing. You've got a manifest, a quill, a pen, and she has written down on top basically the rules about registration. So, in order for you to trade items in bulk, to specifically commodities, inside the Confederation or in the Old World, you must be registered somewhere, and then that registration is kind of like if they have to track your ship down, they just send call back to the registration area, and then they kind of like figure out where you've been at. So if you're looking to determine where a ship has been, you go to where it's been registered, and then the organization that registered it, and then they'll kind of track it. So you flash back to the king's ship's register. He would have tracking of all the ships that are registered out of Yorick, and then also the places that have stopped by. So now there's a way for authorities basically to roll into town to say, we're trying to track this ship. When did it show up? Where did it go next? And typically there'll be at least some information about where they're going next. If you had illicit cargo, you don't want it necessarily registered, but that's a thing that we can talk about later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So registration is good. Registration in Yorick is a solid start, and then getting registered somewhere else that would hide your identity is even better if you're going to be a pirate.
Okay.
And registration costs are typically like 100 gold pieces for the year, and they just kind of like you just have to stop into Yorick every once in a while, and you get preferential pricing when you come to Nyx's Knacks to drop off your commodities.
Okay. Good to know. I think I'll still let the sailor handle that jazz, but right. So for this lot we're looking at here, what's the running tally?
Chart outfit.
Logan, don't be afraid to yell into your microphone.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up building like a little platform because I'm getting really tired of hunching over this thing. For 240 gold pieces is what it'll run you.
Right. Well, it just so happens that we have some items to trade with you that are about the same price.
Okay. What do you put on display for this gnome?
So Barry will pull up one of the goblets are fairly similar, the 4 goblets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he'll pull up one of those and say, well, this here is worth about 25 gold pieces.
Can you roll a... You said that they were 25?
Yep.
Okay, so roll a persuasion check.
Okay. 14.
She eyes it and goes, that looks 20 to me.
Okay, let's call it 20 for the goblets. Well, I've got 4 of these, so that puts us at 80.
Okay.
Now, I have this painting here. You'll unroll the canvas.
And it's a beautiful, like, sunset original painting.
What is this? What is the sun setting over?
What?
Like, it's a sunset, but what's the landscape?
Yeah, what is the landscape? You tell me.
Oh.
Shit.
Fucking make me do all this shit. I randomized this fucking campaign for a reason, boys.
Is there a list of possible, like...
In your mind, I give you the sunset. What does it feel like the sunset should be setting over?
I'm going to say a mountain range.
Okay, great. So it's setting over the mountain range. In particular, it is the northern mountain range.
Okay.
So it's the northern mountain range that separates the old world from the Great Waste, a ever-burning sea of desert.
Okay. So you'll pull that out, unroll it gently to preserve it as much as possible, and lay it down. Does she react to the sight of it?
I mean, it's fucking beautiful.
Okay, perfect.
She's keeping stone face on because she's trying to haggle you.
Fair enough. Like, this here is something that you could sell for a fine price. Most of the people you get around here have seen the sea. Now, the sunrise and the sunset on the ocean is wonderful. But I bet you a high price that not many people have seen a sunrise of this kind of terrain. Not many sailors go over the land, do they?
Well, they just be called landers at that point.
Aye.
Well, how much? Okay, give me the price. How much are you trying to tell her that this is worth?
50 gold.
Okay, what is it actually worth?
25.
Okay, roll a deception.
10.
And she's looking at it and she's like, I'm a bit of an artist, so I'm pretty good at this stuff, and I'm pretty sure I could sell that for like 10. 15
10 gold.
pieces?
For this.
I'll give you 15 because it looks like the oils are fairly expensive, but 100 is a lot. Come on.
100? I never said
Yeah.
100.
No one said 100.
What did you say?
50.
Oh, okay, and it's actually 25?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I doubled the 50.
Okay.
50 is a lot.
I think 15 is a little steep of a cut. I bet you could sell it for probably 35.
No, man, she beat you.
Damn.
The roll that is rolled is sticked. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here rolling dice until you get the roll that you want.
Well, then it's not haggling.
You fucking roll better.
You're a bard.
Oh yes,
This is
my
what you're
random
good at.
polyhedron generator.
Do better. Okay, so 15 plus the 4 at 20, so that's 105, and you need, what was it?
240.
240?
Yeah.
So, you're almost there.
What was the sixth art item? There was 4 goblets.
Gem bowl.
Oh, a bowl.
Mhm. With gems. Ooh.
Okay. So that's down to 1. So I'm just doing some quick head math here. You said we're what, at 105?
Yep.
That brings us to 130. Shit. Okay.
She kind of
So-
leans her head on an arm, kind of waiting for you to sort your life out.
So Barry will pull out the bowl and go through the same kind of thing again. Now this is along the same line, and it could be sold as a matching set with those goblets. They're very similar.
That's very true.
I bet you could pull in 30 gold for this bowl alone.
Deception, baby.
28.
That's
She
Yay!
goes, well, yeah, for sure. 30 gold at least, minimum. Whew. Yeah, no, 30 gold. Put that on the pile. Done.
All right.
I put my hand on Barry's shoulder and I just kind of turn him around and I whisper in his ear, should I add the chain shirt? Because I'm sure we can get 25 for it. It's worth 50.
Hold that till the end.
Okay.
We'll use that as the final piece to balance out if we need to.
Okay.
So then Barry will pull out one of the gems. They're all like similar cut and quality and niceness, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So he'll pull that, kind of roll it around on his knuckles, then hold it up and say, "Now this is a fine piece."
Yeah, it's just the one. So you haven't
Hey.
shown her that you have 8 more.
No.
Okay.
This is a fine piece, and I can follow it up with a few others, but I bet you that this one could go for 15 gold. With the cut, quality, and clearness, you get 15 gold for that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they're worth more than that.
I thought they were worth 10 apiece.
Yeah, you said 10.
Which is why I'm re-looking at that table, because that
Oh, okay.
seems a wee short. Oh yeah, you are correct, sir.
Hmm.
Alright, 10 for 15. Roll that deception.
Another 28.
Yes, if she, yes, 100%.
Okay, sorry, I'm just doing a bit more mental head math. We're 105 short of our target. What's 105 divided by 15?
Well, 15 multiplied by, what did you get, 9 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 90...
135?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
135.
135.
So now
So drop
you're-
2 of them
you're-
off.
You're 270 with
Hmm.
all of it. So you
I mean,
would
if you
have-
take 2 of them out, you're at 240 exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Now, this is not the only one I have. I've got 6 more to go with it
when her
at the
eyes
same price.
kind of go wide, go, okay, that'll do.
Perfect. We have a deal then.
All right, so Art Bowl chalices, 7 of 9 gems.
Yep.
Mm.
Great. And the chart outfit is yours.
Perfect.
All right, down to 2 gems.
Yep, we came out ahead though. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about this is I can't wait for you guys to do the math on the silk.
Okay, so I'll take the
How much do we have
purchase.
exactly again for the silk, just out of curiosity?
We haven't randomly generated that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what
we
if it's
got-
like not that much?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a number between 1 and another number, so
1 in 100.
trust me.
So we got the chart outfit. We got the manifest, ink and quill, and a lock, right?
Yep.
All right, so Barry, that's good. You've done your stuff. You're writing all your crap down. Nate, you said you wanted to go visit the half work.
I do. I'd like to go see. I'd like to go see him again.
Okay, so let's move that on. So Nate, you approach the half orc, and he again is sitting on his chair. Except, can I get you to roll a perception check, please?
25.
You notice that seated, kind of behind him, it's a little bit obscured, but there is a massive double-headed great axe. And by double-headed, I mean it's a great axe with just the one head, but it's got the two. I thought it sounded good and it doesn't, so I apologize. It's a great axe. Let's not complicate it.
I look at him. Nice axe.
So he kind of looks at you and then puts his fingers to his lips in a motion of silence. And then he looks back out over the path, and you now recognize these 2 humanoid individuals who are walking up. I need you to roll a d20 twice to determine what these humanoids are.
11 and 1.
11 and 1. Okay.
Natural 1.
Da, da, da.
This is gonna get kind of fucked up. So, yeah, sure, let's do it. This is gonna get weird. You see an Aarakocra and a
I immediately am intrigued. Okay.
yeah, and a Furbolg. Walk into the bar. No. So the Aarakocra and the Furbolg kind of approach the half-orc. And the half-orc regards them, and the Furbolg kind of chimes in and says, Mr. Holg, sir? And Holg kind of regards the Furbolg. Now, these two are clad in different types of leathers, but they are still kind of matching in terms of a faction. And Xanaruk, you recognize this faction.
Uh-oh.
And the Furbolg kind of like sheepishly says, the Skywatcher sends his regards and wishes you to join him in 7 days in the plains of the whole Holg just kind of like puts his fingers on the bridge of his brow and says, Lede, you need to stop talking right now. And the Furbolg like immediately kind of tenses up, and Holg stands up, and his oppressive and impressive size already begins to dwarf the Furbolg and even the Aarakocra. And the Aarakocra kind of like takes a step back and naturally tries to spread its wings a little bit to show that it's not scared. And Holg picks up the axe and kind of heaves it in 2 hands as a way of displaying the quality of this axe. And Holg says, please don't fucking tell me that Ilkin, the tiny waste of flesh of a man, has decided to send you 2 down here to challenge me. That fucking idiot. You go back and you tell that waste of an egg that I only respond to challenges in person. Also, make tracks before I let the breeze roll through between your ears. So, the Aarakocra immediately like turns around and almost like fly runs, leaving the Furbolg to turn around as fast as he possibly can and run down the road away from everybody, in a sense. And Holg puts his axe down and turns to you and says, sorry about that. Little bit of nastiness, but no better way to start your day. How did your adventure down into the temple go? That's all anybody really seemed to be talking about.
Oh, we made our way back. We
I'm
survived.
surprised to see you're still in one piece.
Gotta say, so am I.
Okay, well, you first came to me talking about a sword, and in my opinion, there are two ways that a real man earns a sword. You craft it using the materials that the earth has given you, or you rip it out of someone's dead hand. Considering I'm still standing, I think the option's a little bit asinine. However, you've come back from a place that not a lot of people come from, so maybe it's time, you found a sword by weaving the earth together and get yourself some steel.
Any idea where I might find some?
And he kind of smiles and he motions you into his home.
I follow.
So he opens the door and you guys look at this home, and on the outside it's a home fit for a family of 3, maybe 4. He has turned the living room into a trophy room. And there is a set of armor that matches his build perfectly, and it is black.
Ooh.
Covered in thorns. It accentuates his orcish, so the helmet accentuates his orcish features. There's a massive pronounced jaw with 2 huge teeth, not fangs, tusks, that reach up on this mask, so even while he wore it, you could tell who this guy was. He leans the axe up next to the suit of armor, and it perfectly blends in. They are absolutely made to be held together. And you look around the room, and there is a series of relics from a long and deadly life. There is on display a broken sword that has been fractured into pieces, and all the pieces are there. There's a set of plate mail armor that has been meticulously repaired, save the massive, gaping, caved-in hole in the chest. These are all things that you presume he has collected in his long life. And he leads you, actually, through the main living room into the back area, where there is a forge. He looks at you and at Barry and at Xanaruk, and he looks at Xanaruk a little bit longer, as if he's looking for Xanaruk to flinch and gets bored, and then goes back to Nate. And he starts with, "You look like the type of man that would be able to wield the flame and forge himself his own sword. And if you don't have anything too pressing for the next day, I'd be interested to see what those hands can do on my forge."
I've been trained some. I was fortunate enough to have training from the dwarves. I would be honored to attempt to make something on your forge, and I hope it's worthy.
So, Nate, do you have anything that displays the faction you're a part of?
I do, yes.
What is it, and where is it?
Basically, on the there would be like a shoulder piece on my chainmail that would display fairly just the symbol of our order.
Mm-hmm. And can you describe what that symbol is?
I'm
going to make you stick to it. So.
Yep. It's basically just a symbol of cord. So the four alternating maces and spears, and it's surrounded by an eye.
Cool. And he looks, like, notedly looks at the symbol of your faction and says, I've met some of your people before. Good folks, them.
Who have you met, if I may ask?
And he kind of chuckles and says, the armor with the huge gaping hole in the center. That belonged to one of them a long time ago. I was a different man, and I apologize.
It's understandable. We're not exactly known for keeping the peace all the time. We've fought quite a few wars. I wouldn't be surprised if we had ended up on opposite sides at one point or another.
Now, can you confirm for me what the name of your faction is? You kind of went back and forth a little bit.
I did. I'm sorry. We are the Children of the Storm.
Children of the Storm. The half-orc kind of nods and says, well, the Children of the Storm are good in my books. And I'd like to pay a debt that I owe to them by helping you make a sword. And you've proven yourself at least a little bit capable, or perhaps a wee bit lucky.
I think you have to have a bit of both, right?
Truer words may not have been spoken. So, now, if you wish to spend the rest of the day, or at least you can tackle something else, and then spend the day crafting a greatsword that would be personalized to you.
I will, basically, I'll look at the other two, and I'll say, I'm going to stay here and do this. I look back at Holg. I have an inkling. And I just want you to confirm it one way or another if you can. The king's smarter than he looks, right?
Aye.
Okay. I look back at Barry and I'm like,
Is he an evil man?
Oh no, the town's still around. He's done what he's can to, I wouldn't say keep everybody in line, but if he's,
To help the town continue and prosper.
well, I think prosper is a strong word for York.
So he would not feel upset about the fact that we went down and
Oh no, God no.
perhaps cleansed, shall we say, the basement of the temple.
Done something I don't think anyone else has been able to do yet.
So it will not be considered in a negative light.
Oh no, by all means.
Okay. Well, that makes you feel a lot better.
Ah,
I agree.
He's an enigmatic man, but he's not a keeper of whatever the hell lives down there.
That's good to hear.
Okay.
I would be honored to spend the rest of my day forging a blade.
Super great. So you basically embark on a montage of forging, and the two of you don't wear shirts, and you're super manly. And there's flames coming up all over the place. But,
Gonna have a montage.
for basically the rest of the day, you are out.
Okay.
In the same way that Sirius is. However, you now have a greatsword, and it is a personally designed greatsword. It's not like just whatever. This is care and stuff went into it, and in fact, it's a pretty standard greatsword, but you get to inscribe something on the blade.
All right.
I'll let you think about it. You don't have to do it right now.
Yeah, if I have like 5 minutes, I'll have something.
Okay.
Inscribe kindness, then you kill people with kindness.
No. I'm going to say you have 4 minutes to give you a little bit of pressure.
Works for me.
So we'll go to Barry and Xanaruk, who sound like you're going to go after the king on your own.
I assume we dropped off the
what's
stuff
happening.
at the ship with Sirius, or
Yeah,
have we not
yeah.
done that yet?
No, for sure.
Okay.
We don't need.
Perfect.
We don't need to play
Real quick, I
know
want to ask
this was
Holg
happening,
something.
so
that. Okay.
Why were they challenging you?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. That's a 17. Ooh.
So you have had a couple of run-ins with the faction you designed, which is why you designed it. Can you tell me the name of that faction, please?
The one that they were from?
Yeah, the one that you built.
Okay. Have it here. The Gurik Thar.
The Gurik Thar. Challenges are taken pretty seriously in Gurik Thar, and typically it's done over leadership. So for someone to challenge Holg implies that he is or has been at one time the leader of one of the, I would say, subsections. So the faction itself is quite large. There are many different groups, but there's a internal power struggle where someone wants Holg's position, and Holg is doing everything he can to just kind of withdraw from that whole world. He's lived a really good life, and he's happy just to sit on his stoop and scare people.
Hmm. So he doesn't say anything.
No.
Fair.
Because he kind of regards you, and you're able to intuit with your fantastic barbarian senses that someone is trying to kill him to get his position. They want his title.
All right, I'll just leave it at that and go with Barry to the king.
Okay.
Regarding the name or the inscription on the sword, in Primordial, I'm going to write the words courage, discovery, and honor.
Good picks. Cool. All right.
Beauty.
So you arrive at the king's mansion house.
I assume the door is closed.
Well, yeah, and there's two guards that are standing guards.
So Barry will walk up with, I assume, Xanaruk in tow.
Yes.
And kind of wave to the guards as he walks up and says, "Good morning.
Morning.
We're hoping to possibly have a chat with the king, if that's at all possible."
He is expecting you, so right on in,
perfect.
fellas.
Thank you.
So they kind of push the door open, and there's you see the halfling that you had seen previously, and he perks up and goes, "Oh, the king is expecting you. He is up in his study, the second door to the left."
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you wander directly to the study?
Yeah.
Super
Do we?
Can I take a quick perception check around, see if there's anything like that catches the eye?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, that's a bad roll. 11. Wait. I'm wrong. That's a 7.
Yeah. I mean, you take a look around. You're taken off guard at how nice it is, both on the outside and the inside. It's a really sweet place.
Oh yeah. Head on up to his. You said he was in the sitting room.
The study?
Study. To the study. Huzzah.
Did Mitchell? Yeah, Mitchell dropped.
I dropped and came back. Sorry.
Okay.
Mitch is back.
It's cool, baby. So you go to the door, knock on it, head on in, and you can see for the first time the Dragonborn sitting at a desk, and he's not lounging. His typical jovial kind of sense is gone, and he turns and looks to regard you, and he drops the facade. His voice is a little bit deeper. He says, "It's good you're back. I was worried. When my guards told me you went under the temple, I assumed you had died."
Well, it was not for lack of them trying.
Who's this guy?
You found someone down there?
More than just someone. There was... There's no other word I can use besides possessed. This person was possessed by something.
And he's He's listening to you, and he's kind of stroking his chin in thought, and then he motions towards two chairs that are just kind of placed opposite to him. So if anyone wanted to join him, that's where they would sit. He invites
I'll
you
sit
to
down.
But he gestured to them, you said?
Yeah.
So Barry will give like a tiny little bow and say, "Thank you, my liege.
I'll
Take a
just
seat."
sit.
So the two of you sit, and the king regards you both. He takes a kind of a deep breath and says, "Please tell me you killed whatever it was."
Hopefully.
We gave it everything we have, and it disappeared.
Well, at the very least, that seems to be over. Tell me, did you see any of my kin below?
Aye, we did.
Is she well?
I regret to inform you that she is no longer amongst us.
You can see that there's a visible weight that has been placed on him. He seems very, very tired, much older. The luster in his scales dims a little bit. He sighs. It is as I feared. Very well. Were you able to hallow whatever it is that's been throwing off that terrible, terrible energy?
We found a profane temple in the caves below, filled with horrible images, grotesque effigies, and we laid them to waste as best we could.
A lot of smashing.
I'm afraid it will take great power to cleanse that place. But at least now you've done a thing that no one has been able to do for a year. I myself ventured down below in an attempt to clear it out and find my sister. I was unable. I still dream of that terrible laugh.
And at the mention of that, Barry just kind of cringes.
Salad. I suppose it's time for me to explain myself.
I was hoping not to pray, but it would be appreciated.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested too.
I came to York a year ago, chasing a story that my sister came here. That temple has been desecrated many a year. She was a headstrong cleric. I dabbled with illusion. And she went down and never returned. I came to York, seeking its mystery. And I found it, deep in the temple, in that god-forsaken spiral.
Another cringe.
The temple leaks at time. And I think you saw the beginnings of that. Once or twice, we've had to deal with someone who goes a little off their rocker, decides to take it upon themselves in an attempt to sway the rest of the world, that the thing that was locked down there still exists. The gods would put it down and people wouldn't worry about it too much. You ever consider what the most powerful weapon in our world is?
I can't say that I have.
not the Ark. It's not Dwarven canon. It's an idea. Because you've seen it, because you've witnessed it, I will share this information, but you must promise me you will use it to find wherever else this pops up and silence it. In another plane, there is a god that has been locked away. I won't repeat its name because it lends it power. Its disciples are insane. Madness pales in comparison to what they actually do. They seek a way to free him. The temple is of but one area that they have come out. The madness spreads, it fractures your mind. To know that there is a deity, the divines, the things that brought the Alliance together. There's a being of equal power whose only obsession is the overall consumption and devouring of all life. That is what is awaiting us.
And that's the symbol of that cursed spiral is about this god.
He is the everlasting hunger.
How does this madness spread to people?
It's an idea. When people who aren't you, because you've clearly survived, are presented with the inalienable truth that there is a being with power beyond recognition who wants you and everything you know to be wiped clean, the brain simply fractures. So, to keep York together, I simply use my magics to do what I do well. I convince people to party. And if they're drunk, they cannot consider the consequences of a being hell-bent on their destruction. And with that, he kind of leans back. He kind of slumps in his chair and looks at the two of you and says, "This is a heavy weight. But now that you know what the truth is under Yorick, I need you to find a way to hallow the ground underneath the temple. Only then can we bring Bahamut back and truly bring worship back to his name. For the time being, I will keep people here docile and ignorant and woefully, woefully drunk." If I leave, it will spread, and you will see more and more of the people like you saw in that bar. The thing that you fought is just the beginning. I don't even know where it come from, where it went, but I can tell you this. You have not seen the last of it.
And are we in danger of becoming like these people we saw, simply for having been around it?
In danger, yes. But no danger is certain until it is upon you. You have friends, even if they are new. Rely on them. Trust them. They will see you turn before anyone else does.
Well, I have to say, this conversation was very different than what I was expecting.
Yeah, this was a lot deeper and darker than I thought it'd be.
I'm sorry, friends. People tell me you've acquired a boat.
Hmm.
While you are out, attempting to find your riches. Be wary. There are other places like this that require sealing, and maybe the place you begin is to find someone powerful enough to wipe it clean.
It seems like a good place to start.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Do you know
Do you have
anyone?
Well, the king kind of shrugs, and will randomly generate some guy that he's going to tell you about. So,
Hey,
Xanareth,
hey.
can I get you to roll a d12?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. 8.
And then, can you give me a... just give me another d12, and I'll count off where I'm going to put it.
Okay. 6.
And the Dragonborn leans in and goes, I know of a half-elf in Drakevault who goes by the name... And, Simon.
Yes.
We're going to randomly generate the half-elf name.
Okay.
Sue, I'm going to go to... Yeah. Give me a d12.
D12?
Yeah.
2.
Bryn. Bryn.
R-Y-N?
Yeah. Dragonborn says his name is Bryn. And for narrative reasons, he's a fairly potent cleric who may be able to guide you in your way. Should you find your way to Drakevault, start with him.
Okay.
I
Any
have to
other
say...
advice? Oh,
sorry, you go ahead if you want.
no, there you go.
I have to say, I feel a little remiss that we haven't asked your name.
You did actually.
We know his name.
Yeah, you know his name.
It's
King...
Zaragul.
Zeragold
Entantris?
Yeah. Enthondris.
How did I miss that?
You're probably drunk.
Probably. So, do we still address you as your liege?
In order for the illusion to work, I require it.
Well, that's fair. And I have to say, I'm glad we had this talk. It has put me at ease that you're looking out for the people of this town.
And he forces a fake smile, and you have a hard time discerning that he's still rather melancholy. And he says, "Of course, the people are everything to me."
I was worried that it was a case where the people might have been being taken advantage of, but I can see that that is definitely not the case.
Mm.
No, but
Still pretty sinister.
perhaps someday you will not have to make the same decisions I did.
Yeah.
I pray you don't, but I think this was the
don't
best
think
course
you
of
did
action you
anything.
could choose given the circumstances.
Hmm.
As unfortunate as they were.
And then he stands up and kind of corrects his robe, and he pushes the door to the study open, and it proudly announces to the guards, "Now get out of here, you scoundrels! I'm not giving you a penny more Then 500 gold pieces for that impressive work you've done down in the temple. And the guards, like, immediately run off to the treasury to pull out 500 gold pieces and then present it to you guys. And he goes, now get out of here. I hear you have a ship to repair.
So at that, Barry's going to fish around in his bag and grab his battered hat and throw a nice deep bow as he backs away.
Xanaruk?
I'll just walk away.
Super great. So the two of you guys leave with newfound information in your brains. I think we'll just kind of jump now to Sirius on the boat talking to the shipwright, and then let's round this bitch out.
Word.
So Sirius, while you were taking stock, you also can determine how many bolts or rolls of silk you have. Now, understanding that this is gonna fuck it up. If you roll really well, I still would like the idea of please roll me a D10.
Oof.
That's an 8.
All right. Yeah! You have 8 bolts of silk.
Jesus.
Now,
Okay.
by my calculations, holy shit. Okay, so I did a quick little run around. 1 yard of silk is considered, I think it's 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
Each bolt has 40 yards. So each bolt is worth 4,000 gold pieces.
Each?
Okay, excuse me? Did you just say we have
8 times 4,000?
Yeah. I did.
That's
We have 24,000 gold.
If it's 40 yards per, 40 times 10 is only 400, not 4,000.
Oh, I must have, maybe I got excited.
I mean, it's still a lot of gold.
Okay, so you.
But we drop one of the zeros.
Okay, so it's 2,400.
Oh, which is not enough to actually fix our ship.
Not 100%.
Sorry to be a killjoy.
No, that's fair. I was doing my math very quickly, and I'm not proud of that mistake, but I was really excited at where I got, so that's fine.
Sorry.
Let me just double check, because I think it's 10 gold per square yard. Oh, for crying out loud. So what are you guys thinking about?
Nothing much.
Oh, you know, ship
Just
stuff.
boys.
No, sorry. I thought we were doing math still. I was just like,
we
so
are-
we have 2,400 gold worth of silk.
Give me some of that sweet trade goods. So yeah, it's 10 gold pieces per square yard of silk, and the bolts have 40 yards, being 400 gold pieces per bolt, and you have 8 of them.
Okay, so 2,400 gold in silk. We have 500 gold in gold. And then how much do we know is the arc worth?
You have no idea.
Okay.
That's a thing that you know it's of value, but there's you have so many options. You could attempt to refine it and get purified arc extract. You could attempt to just sell it wholesale, and we're pretty much just going to roll to randomly determine it, because arc in and of itself is more or less chaos. You could give it to Barry and see what it does to Barry.
Can we please give it to Barry and see what happens?
Yes.
Are we all together again, or am I just
No,
with the?
It'll just be you.
Okay. So I know that we have $2,400 worth, 400 gold worth of silk, and now I'm probably gonna get the estimate on how much it is, at least for the sales.
Yes.
Okay.
So after the whole thing, the Goliath comes up and goes, she almost looks kind of sad about it. She's like, it's going to run you at least 500 gold pieces to get those new sails.
Okay.
And 1,000. I could do some really good patchwork. It'll take me a better part of a day, but 1,500 at the very least will replace it. And I only have about 10 rune plates. So if you wanted all the rune plates, that'll be another 1,000. So you're looking at 2,500 all in to at least patch your hull, get you some new sails, and get your rune plates. You haven't even provisioned yet, so you're gonna need food and water for wherever you're planning on going.
Okay, well, we're gonna skip the rune plates then.
Okay.
Yeah, just straight up skip the $1,000 rune plates. So that's 1,500 for sails and no more holes.
Yes, as in seaworthy, and your hardness will go up by 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I shake her hand on that,
Okay, great.
and I
She
go
goes,
down
do
to.
Do you have the money now, or?
I have the silk. Can you take the silk?
Oh yeah, sure, for sure. And you hand her the 8 bolts.
Well, not the 8 bolts. 8 bolts is 2,400. So I'll hand her a bolt's worth 400. So 4, 8, 12. I hand her 5. Wait, where did I just go? 12 is 4. 5, almost completely 5.
Well, 5 would be 2,000.
Yeah, you
wouldn't
want
it?
4.
Not even 4. 4 is 1,600, so you'd want 3 at 1,200, and then we can give her 300 in gold.
Yeah, sorry, it's really late. My math is really bad. Yeah,
That's all good.
yeah. And then I don't know about the gold, but it would be I can just cut it and be like, here you go.
Yeah, you can cut.
Oh, true.
You can cut a bolt in half, and then have
Yeah.
remaining bolts. It's no big
Yeah.
deal. Okay. So.
So now we have 900 gold worth of silk.
Yeah.
Okay.
For 2.5.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So your ship is repaired. You've got new sails. You have your chart outfit. You've got some fresh siding. So your hardness is now 3.
Okay.
Your speed is no longer halved. And provisioning is going to cost you 5 silver pieces per crew member per day.
Okay, and where have we? Is everybody back now?
No.
Okay.
But at the same time, you can kind of, if you tell me.
Glasses O'Houlihan says
We're all doing our math terribly.
What?
Yeah.
it's actually 3,200.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Wow, everybody listening to this, please understand it is 10 o'clock at night, and
Yeah, so late.
I went to law school, so I didn't have to do math.
Okay. Well, let us.
I was good at math.
We are all ashamed. We are all
Yeah.
humans. We have made our mistake,
Yeah.
and we'll continue to make it throughout the campaign. So get your calculators out, bitches.
Woo!
Yeah.
So
now we have 1,700 worth of remaining gold.
Sure. Great. We can finesse it because it's already giving me a headache dealing with more numbers.
Yeah, I just have the silk value written down. That's all. So we
Great.
just remember
Super
that.
good. And then
there's not
we'll
much silk
we'll
value.
tackle the arc. In particular, when you want to start using it and breaking it up, you can just randomly determine how much arc you have now, if you like, or you can hang on to it.
Do you want to? Who wants to roll to determine?
You're the only one on the boat, and typically it's anyone involved in it. So you can leave the arc alone, and then it'll randomly determine later on, or you can open it right now.
What do you guys want?
We're not there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's your choice.
Okay, well I'm gonna open it up and see how much is there.
All right,
Sweet.
Give me a d6.
Okay,
roll high.
that's a 5.
All right. So
Yeah.
There are 5 intact arc plants.
Okay.
You don't know what subspecies this is. You don't know its overall potency.
Indica or Strativa?
No idea.
Okay, that's fine. So, are we just gonna say that over the next little bit of time we reconvene and the ship is what we can pay for repaired?
Yeah, pretty much. It would basically be like the rest of the day happens, and then Nate shows up on the boat with his greatsword. Barry and Xanaruk come back, like Xanaruk carrying a chest of 500 gold pieces, and the 4 of you are back on the Osprey together again.
Yay!
I've also spent a lot of the time while the person was repairing, trying my best to help, but also cleaning the deck of the bird shit, just honestly just scrubbing it and just trying to make it look nice. I spent the whole day trying to make stuff look nice.
Yeah. So you spend your time swabbing the poop deck.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get the poop off the poop deck. Yeah.
Classic. Okay. So, pulling out my big map of the world that we're arbitrarily in, what direction do you want to go? And then we can start talking about how long it's going to take you, and then you can determine what provisions to get.
So we'll have relayed to the whole conversation that Xanaruk and I had with the king.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the
We
party.
should head towards
Okay.
there.
So, actually relay it.
Okay.
I want to know how much of that you retained.
Okay. Right, so Xanaruk and I went and talked with the king.
Hmm.
And I think our perceptions of him were, to phrase it properly, dead wrong.
Yeah, completely wrong. He's actually pretty cool.
Okay, that's always good news. I see that you're holding a large chest full of gold, so I'm sure it went well.
It
Yeah.
did.
Ish.
He rewarded us for the work we did below the temple.
Good.
But that whole situation is why he's here. He came looking for his sister,
Okay.
who was apparently a cleric who went down to cleanse. And I think that's the Dragonborn we found down
Is that
below.
the one that I took the chain shirt from?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We should give that to him.
Probably.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do we have to?
Meh?
I mean, it's not ours, and we actually know whose it is. We should give it back to their family.
Yeah, but would you return the ship we just found if we found who owns it? Like,
Of course not. He was a dickbag.
Okay, maybe I'm the only one who thinks this way. But yes.
Well.
Okay, well-
You still have the chain shirt, so you can deliver it, and while everyone else does Shipley things.
I
Fair
think
enough.
I think I will do that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's more to talk. Wait, we have to explain the rest.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
So the king knows all about the endless hunger, as he called it.
Mm.
It
That's
has something to do with that fucking spiral.
The D
okay.
related to the spiral, yeah.
Thrasden then, eh?
Ugh.
Don't say. Okay.
Hmm.
What?
Saying the name gives it more power. Him.
Thrasden.
Stop.
Let's,
No, like
let's-
for real, I'm not supposed to say it?
correct.
Yes.
Aye.
Oh. That's super weird.
Let's call him
The endless hunger.
he
Yes.
who must not be named.
Endless hunger is good.
I like it.
We're
No
going down the
copyright.
Voldemort.
Endless Hunger isn't copywritten, so let's go with that.
That's fair. Yeah.
We're a very copywritten, conscious group of people.
Mhm.
Fuck, okay, that fucking trick shot me out of my bloody character. Hang on, Alright, back to character.
Right? It's
Right.
tough to when you lose it. It's hard to get it back.
It is, especially when it's like comically based and I start laughing, I'm like, ah, shit. It doesn't help
You
my
can't
accent's
laugh
horrible.
in Scottish. Yeah.
Ho ho ho.
Okay, where was I? King looking for sister, cursed spiral. Right, okay.
Hello
It,
stuff.
it turns out that the whole persona he's putting on is false.
Oh, I
man-
could have told you that.
The man is magic. He uses illusions to keep the townspeople safe. He convinces them to live a life of luxury and abundance
And
keep them-
drunkenness.
to keep them drunk and happy, so
Very
they're not
drunk.
thinking about this evil that's spreading from the temple. And the task that he has given us is to find a way to hallow that ground.
hmm Now, he did point us towards a cleric.
Aye,
His name is Bryn, and he's in Drake Vault.
aye, that's the place.
That's the place? Okay. He's a half elf.
Any of you guys ever been to Drake Vault before?
I have no idea where that is.
I have no idea.
Is it north, south, east,
Yeah.
west?
It's in
Is that on the continent somewhere?
It's actually in the Confederation.
The what?
It's an amalgamation of island states, city states in the ocean. It's a very interesting place, that's for sure.
Never been on the ocean.
Never been there.
Neither have I. Do you
Uh,
think you can get us there?
I mean, yes, but it's not a hop, skip, and a jump. It's across the open ocean.
Far.
It's even fairly deep into the Confederation.
Can like with the repairs, can we make it there?
That is the question. We fixed it. DM, I'm verifying this. It's not perfect. It's ocean safe, but
Affirm.
there's
You can sail on the briny sea, but there is an element of risk, an elevated element of risk. I mean, traveling on the sea in and of itself is dangerous. However, I would say traveling to Drake Vault would be riskier, but doable. It's not like you would just suddenly take on water and capsize. However, the Confederation was kind of brought together because of piracy and into private interests. And so by confederating themselves, they're kind of in an ongoing battle with pirates, which would, I think, suggest that there's an increased risk of piracy when you go south.
I relay that because obviously I would know that. And I explain that, and then I say also the work done to the hull of the ship is patchwork. We're gonna need to dry dock it to fix it completely, and it's up
Should
to
we do
you.
that first?
Oh, that's what I'm asking. It's up to you guys. We have a good chunk of gold, probably enough to get it dry docked and get it fixed, but that's a voyage in on itself because the closest point with a dry dock is the human capital, which is, sorry, Logan,
Snowmelt.
Snowmelt. So that's a much safer journey than Dragon Vault and much more doable. I'm assuming it's cold up there.
Yeah, so at the mention of snow melt, it's seasonal, right? So it's kind of like a
It's cold in the winter, but in the summer it's fine.
at the mention of snow melt, Nate, you're like, hey, we could stop in on my parents. It is right next to Gildren, so Gildren protects the approaches to snow melt.
Guys, that is if snowmelt is close to home. I haven't been home since I was 7.
If that's something you're interested in, it's on our way, honestly, and it's a good stop before we hit I mean, we're going to be in the open ocean, but I mean, the distance from the continent to the Confederation is water like none of you boys have experienced before. That's the real shit.
I mean, I've never been on an ocean, period, so.
Well, you're on one right now, technically.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, tomato, potato.
Tomato, potato.
So then I think the best way to do this is, I mean, I've become the de facto captain, but I don't have interest in telling you what to do. So there's 4 of us. A vote is always easy. Let's decide.
Just before we make the vote, just because there is 4 of us, I think that captain should have deciding vote. You are the one who best understands the ship itself. And so if we tie, you decide.
Fair. I guess.
We're all leaning on you for your experience. None of us have sailed.
Well,
Yeah.
if we're going to keep doing that, we better find somebody else to break this vote because it makes me feel bad choosing for you guys.
Well, that's why we're getting that cleric guy.
Okay, well, my vote is the sooner we can get this ship all the way fixed and all the way ready to go and fully reloaded and ready to go, the better. Making that voyage across the open ocean and especially into the Confederacy, we need to be ready for it. So my vote is to dry dock it and get it fixed all the way.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also agree. I have unfinished business at home
Let's go visit Nate's parents.
that would be good for me to do because I would feel much more confident going forward if I finished that.
And also, the capital is a beautiful and old city, and it's
Yes.
always nice.
Also, yes. Also, the furthest away you could possibly get from the origins of Ark. Those 4 plants may be worth a small fortune.
Swing.
And the Confederacy is the birthplace of Ark, right?
Yes. Actually, technically, Ark is the birthplace of the Confederacy.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
Snow
Well
Melt's a
then,
good place to sell that shit.
Yeah.
the
The only place that
place.
the only place that is any further out is the dwarven capital of Vern Tordir, but I mean they have a pretty steady supply from the New World. Snowmelt is still like, what's this Ark y'all talking about?
So, I mean that wasn't in character, but I mean I feel like I would understand that. I can relay that there might be some money to be made here, on top of Nate getting what he wants and us getting a ship that's ready to hit the true open ocean.
Super great. So,
Yeah.
provisions. Let's talk a little bit more math, and then we'll call her quits. Sue.
Okay.
Cool.
Based off of some rough estimate finger math, let's call it a day and a half, maybe 2 if things don't go your way. So if there's 4 of you, that means.
Oh, I'm surprised it's not way farther.
Yeah.
We also like shits go far away when you are out there for 24 hours.
True.
Even if you're only hitting 6 or 7 knots over a 24-hour period, that's still a fair amount of nautical miles, which is a big distance. So if you want, we can make it longer.
I just
No, no, no.
I don't want to argue semantics or anything like that. But I mean, like, to go. I mean, we can estimate, but like, is this like we're going from like Florida to like Quebec City?
No.
So this is more like.
from like
Whoa.
Boston to Quebec City.
Hmm.
Oh.
You're
Oh,
pretty
okay.
far up the
Then
coast
yeah,
already.
everything you're saying is making sense. Then I just pictured the continent as larger.
It is fairly large. You are 75% of the way up the coast.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like it would be 4 or 5 days to go from York to Savine. So Savine
Okay.
is much further south, and now you're starting to get into the Elven territories.
Hmm.
So from York, you proceed north. You'll roll past a cluster of buildings known as Freemind, and then you proceed all the way up pretty much into the bay where Gildren is. So you could depart at dawn on the next day, having eaten and had a good time, and you would probably arrive in Gildren within a full 24-hour period, so dawn the next day. So you'd have to do your first overnight, which is super interesting because only one of y'all motherfuckers knows how to sail. And then it'd
True.
just be like a hop, skip, and a jump over to Snowmelt, like a couple of hours down the river, Bay Canal area, and then you'd make it. So,
Ding.
oh, and he dropped the guy I was talking to.
So I'm so sorry. My internet at this time of night, I don't know what it is. It just goes in and out.
People using it. Where did you drop?
Hmm.
I was just going. I literally said that I thought the continent was larger, and then you said we're already like 75% up the continent.
Yeah, you pretty much had the majority of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't stress about it.
Okay.
Well, besides the fact that for the overnight we'll have to do,
Yeah,
No,
only
no,
one
that's
of us
fine.
can sail.
that was a subtle hint. Okay. So, let's say, how many days worth of rations and water do you want to buy at 5 silver pieces?
2
per
weeks.
Crew, 2 weeks.
Are
There
they
we go.
perishable or non-perishable?
Yes.
Try
I
non-perishable.
would say non-perishable, but if you go
Okay.
2 weeks on non-perishable, y'all gonna get scurvy.
Oh, is there like fruit that we can buy?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that becomes perishable.
I mean, the other option is we could just make our trip a little bit longer and make land part of the way up the coast.
Well, it's only like a 2-day trip,
Yeah,
right?
it's only at most
Yeah,
a
we'll be
2-day
okay.
trip.
Let's.
The
I just
fruit
want
will
to. Let's just. I
survive.
just wanted to have a stock in case anything happens.
So
Yeah, so
I
yeah.
think that would be a good stock to have. So at it's 10 silver pieces per gold piece. So it's 2 gold pieces per person per day.
I thought it was 5 silver pieces
So
per
it
person
should
per
be
day.
2 gold pieces for 4 people.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry.
yeah.
So 4. It's basically 4 gold per day.
2 gold per day.
2 gold.
2 gold. Yeah.
So 20 silver
Right.
pieces, 2 gold. So
Yes.
2 gold times
14.
14.
28
Super
gold.
great. All right. So 28 gold from the shipwright. Whoever, what you deducted off of your ship standing 500 gold pieces.
Hmm.
I will let you consider anything else that you want to do. Like this episode is already pretty, I would say, shopping and exposition and kind of wrap up heavy. So we don't need to spend a lot more time. So let's just jump ahead to, you guys can spend the next week determining extra little things that you want to put in there. Like, I don't know, a lock area, somewhere for you guys to sleep, maybe a kitchen facility, kind of over to you. But we will cut to the Osprey, her hatchling, and her call, departing Yorick, with the king and the townspeople kind of gathered around to watch you leave as you sail north, up past the town of Freemind, towards the city of Gildren, and beyond it, the human capital of Snowmelt. And that is where we will call our session for the day.
Yay.
That was pretty.